Turn the dial up, turn it loud. Miami's pride, make us proud. CanesWear crew, you hear the crowd. Hurricanes ain't backing down. Every play, every score. Raising bets and raising roar. Rocking orange, green galore. All for one and one for four. We got FTSN, taking names, winning again. Podcast fam, till the end. Tune in, now let's begin.
All right, today is Thursday, December 11th, which means we're about 10 days away from the 9 days away, I think, from the big playoff game. I don't know if anybody heard on this channel yet, but the Canes have made the playoffs. Gio, did you know the Canes are in the playoffs? Feels like it was decided about a month ago, but that was just a few days ago, a few frantic days ago. I don't know about everybody else, but it has been surreal these last few days because for so long, the excitement, the energy, the nerves were all just beating up on us about, are we going to get in? Are we going to get F Notre Dame, F the committee, F you're in check, F everybody. They better put us in. And as we know, they did. And they didn't put in that the Irish, and they are definitely complaining left and right. But before we get into all that, this is the CanesWear podcast. Bobby, Finns Talk Sports Network, does a fantastic job. Like and subscribe to the network. Share this to tell all your friends. We're getting close to 10,000 people in each episode. It's getting very exciting, energized. Thank you all for joining us. Remember, CanesWear is the spot Miami fan shop. If you're an Inter Miami fan, you want Messi gear, from the Florida Panthers to the Miami Dolphins, who have won 5 out of 6, to the Miami Marlins, to some Miami Heat stuff, but of course, Miami Hurricane stuff. CanesWear has you covered. We've got the CFP shirts. We got the CFP hats coming. A lot of good things, and we're going to hope this is going to ride for a while because we have the first of many playoff games hopefully coming. We are officially going to College Station. Show of hands out there. Let me see you in the back. Can we see? Is everybody going to College Station? Yeah, quite the Gio, we got quite the group of commenters going to College Station. I think about 50,000 or 20,000 fans wanted to go to the game, and they said, we're sorry, we only have 3,000 tickets available for you guys. Our stadium only holds like 1 million people. We can't get in more than 3,000 people. So a lot of Canes fans were disappointed. Hopefully they'll be able to go to the game. I know the Florida Gators, an opening game, they only allowed us 3,000 tickets also, but we had a good representation. And we know what we did to the Gators, another SEC team we played, right, Gio?
Absolutely correct.
We beat their butts. We beat their butts last year, and we beat their butts this year. So we're taking numbers for the SEC. We've got what do we got? A 2-game winning streak now. We beat Florida last year and this year.
Miami's on a 3-game winning streak.
3-game winning streak against the great SEC. And so I'm going to turn it over to Gio in a minute, but I will say rumors are some of these Texas offensive linemen, others, they're thinking like, we big, strong SEC team. You Miami, weak ACC team. Duke wins your conference. So hopefully they're all taking us for granted, Gio. Hopefully they're thinking like, this is Miami, big deal. It's a walk in the park. We're going to win this game easily. As I'm predicting, we're not having a prediction show yet, but I'm predicting the Canes are going to blow them off the field. So we'll hear about everybody's comments, predictions. Remember, CanesWear.com. Remember, FTSN Network. Bring your comments, bring your questions, and Gio and I will be here at 4 in the morning, answer them. Just kidding. Hopefully we'll be done by 12:30. Anyway, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, the great one himself, Gio.
All righty, Brett. Well, I do like that you mentioned about the ticket situation. So I had plenty of people asking me about that. What I had heard since Monday was that Miami was trying to get at least minimum about 8,000. They had almost double that in terms of requests. Texas A&M was only willing to provide 3,000 for the allotment. Miami was trying to ask for more, and Texas A&M hasn't granted that. So if you are a Hurricane fan and you're trying to go through the Miami ticket office, you may be out of luck at this point. You may have to hit the third-party markets like your your Ticketmaster, your SeatGeeks, your Game Time. I highly recommend Game Time, by the way. I've used it before for certain events in the past. Highly recommend Game Time. Yeah, you can actually get a little bit cheaper than some of the other third-party websites. So, yeah, fun times. Last episode we were on, Miami had just gotten into the playoff that just this past Sunday. I think it's settled in for everyone at this point that, yes, Miami's in the postseason. They've made history for the program. 2 back-to-back 10-win seasons, first time in over 20 years. The trajectory is on its way up. Now it's about having to make the most of it with these opportunities they've been granted. I think Miami matches up pretty well with Texas A&M. I don't think it's a blowout, but I do think Miami has a puncher's chance to win this game next Saturday.
A puncher's chance, Gio. A puncher's chance is what? If we battle with them, we can win this game. So it's anybody's game. It's 3 points or 3.5 points in Texas A&M. So basically, it's basically an even game on the neutral field. Texas A&M, as we know, has not beat anybody this year. Really, I mean, they did beat Notre Dame, who we beat, in a completely different type of game in a shootout. And but they really have played a very weak SEC schedule. I think I saw since they've been there in 2012 or so, they have not played Georgia, Alabama in any season. Is that correct? Or since a few other big name teams since they've got in, which is kind of amazing.
The schedule was a little favorable for them in that essence that they didn't have to play the Bulldogs or the Crimson Tide along the way. They faced a team in Texas who, yes, Texas is a 3-loss team this year, but they've had some decent wins as well. They've had some dogfights along the way, and they've had some upsets, like losing to Florida. And who would have thought that Florida would have beat Texas before the season? But it surely happened. So Texas taking out Texas A&M at the end of the regular season, it raised questions about how good is Texas A&M. Like, how good are they actually are this season? Don't want to discredit them for that Texas loss, but at the same time, you have to look back in recent weeks where with a team that is well below 500 this year in South Carolina, Texas A&M, they had to rally from being down 4 scores in the first half to win by 3 against the team that was well under 500 football this season in South Carolina. And yes, South Carolina's got an NFL prospect in Lenore Sellers, and they have a couple of the pass rushers and Nick Harbor and all that. They have some talented guys, but bottom line is it was a under 500 team that Texas A&M also struggled with. The Texas A&M has as many question marks as people had for Miami coming into the playoff. The only difference is that, yeah, Texas A&M only has 1 loss this season, but they came very close to a second and third loss. They didn't get out of that Notre Dame game easy either. They barely got out of that in week 2. So, yeah, I don't think that Texas A&M is a team that is leagues beyond Miami at all.
No, so we played them. We played Texas A&M, what, about 22 or 22 and 23, or did we play them 23 and 24?
2022 and 2023. So 2022 was the game in College Station, the one where Josh Gaddis was the offensive coordinator for Miami during Mario Cristobal's first season. The offense seemed like it just could not get past the opposing 30-yard line at all the entire game. Like they were just allergic to the end zone. And then just receivers dropping passes and everything. Then the following year, insert Shannon Dawson as the offensive coordinator at Miami. And despite some struggles with Tyler Van Dyke throughout that season, that game against Texas A&M was one of his better games as he was here.
So much motion we had that game, a lot of things. Who was our quarterback the year before?
TVD was as well.
TVD was. Okay, so looking back at those games, in that first game, we had a drop punt, didn't we? That could have won the game. We fumbled the punt.
Yeah,
that was the game.
Tyreek Stevenson had fumbled the punt in that game, a punt return. And there's just a lot of missed opportunities that night. And again, that was Mario Cristobal's very first season. very different team at the time. He didn't even have his first real recruiting class in.
Mhm.
Now he's got 3 full recruiting classes in, and his 4th one will be arriving in January as well. So, yeah, very different Miami team now. The only
Texas
players
A&M
that
was supposed to be really good back then too. When they in both of those games, they were ranked in both.
yeah,
Those games.
they had some pretty disappointing seasons though, considering the amount of talent that they brought in through the high school ranks at the time. They had like a historic recruiting class
Mhm.
going into all that, which most of those guys ended up transferring to other programs.
Now, Texas A&M was a highly rated team, especially the year we beat them here. Everyone thought they were, and so they were probably where they are. They were probably almost as good of a team as they are right now. They just played a different schedule. They may have been 80% of this team, correct? That they are now, maybe
Yeah,
70%.
I think this Texas A&M team is much better coached. I think the offense is much more creative than what they had with Jimbo Fisher. I think Jimbo Fisher was at the end of his line in terms of just his offensive philosophy at that point when he arrived at Texas A&M. There was a lot of complaints about that. I also think they're a better coached team.
Mhm.
So both teams have changed a lot
That's
since 2022 and 2023.
Now, how much better do you think this team is with obviously Beck as the quarterback? We know the running backs. We know we had Restrepo, obviously. That was a good year in 23. We had Restrepo and Jacoby George had a great game, I think, in that first game. Our defense is obviously it's night and day for what we had in those 2 games. Even though we were tackling well in that game we won in 23, I thought, wow, we're finally making tackles. It seemed like we fell off every year. So, I mean, how much better do you think this team is than the 22 and 23 team which Texas A&M played?
Oh, much better. You have a better running back depth. That's a big one that Miami sorely lacked in 2022. In 2022, I don't think it was an issue of talent in the receiver room. I think it was just an issue of the route concepts and the type of offense that Josh Gaddis was trying to push out there. With the personnel that Miami had, it just made 0 sense. And ironically enough, majority of the same guys were back the very next year and had breakout seasons under Shannon Dawson. So I think it just was more so the philosophy that was in place when Gaddis was here. So yeah, I just long story short, the offense much better than 2022, defense as well. That it's night and day differences. The only thing I would say, I don't want to take credit away from guys like Jacoby Thomas or Zachariah Poyser. Miami doesn't have like a Cameron Kinchins on this team per se. Well, you could kind of say Bryce Fitzgerald, even though he rotates and he's caught 4 picks this year, but they don't exactly have a guy like that right now. But that would be basically one of the only differences between that team and this team. It's Miami's much more improved since then. I think a better comparison, maybe comparing this team to the 2023 group, which receiver wise, I think it's almost a push, basically. You know, 2023, they had George and Restrepo, and then Kobe Young kind of progressed along as the season went. And then offensive line, I think this offensive line is better than that group. Running backs, I think better. Carson Beck, definitely a better quarterback than Tyler Van Dyke was. Defensive line is better. Maybe the interior was slightly had a little more depth at the time back then, but for the most part, though, Brett, the team is much better than the 2022 and 2023 teams. That is without a doubt.
But you know, we still have Mario. They obviously have a different coach this year, and Jimbo. We thought, you know, he came over from Florida State, correct? He left Florida State to go to Texas A&M. Was that the route he went?
Wait, what happened with Jimbo Fisher?
Jimbo was the coach at Texas A&M then, right?
Yes, before Mike.
Yeah, and he was what's it called? But no, he was at Florida State first, and then he went to Texas A&M on that big contract. So
yep, correct.
He's not there anymore. So we've got our guys. I mean, so looking back, I mean, we remember our coach at least many of them remember the staff and the games. Their coaches, obviously, and players are all gone. So it is all new to them. The bottom line is we're ACC. I have to believe a team like Texas A&M, based on what some of their players have said, they're looking down. People look down on the ACC, which may be an advantage of us because they say, hey, Duke won. You can't get around Duke winning at 7-5. They're our conference champions. So how good can Miami be? If they're scouting us, but in the back of your mind, you got to think their conference winner was 7-5. Really? So I think that'll be an advantage to us, that people may take us a little lightly at first. Well, we shall see what we see. Hopefully we see the reinvigorated Mario, which I do believe we will, the post SMU Mario. I believe we will. And I think, if we play like that, we've got a gauntlet of a schedule, but I think, we can do some damage. So we'll see what everybody says before we get to any questions and comments. You got anything else to add, Gio?
Not much, really. I mean, I saw a comment that popped up along the way, so I'll mention it now before we get to that the question that was there. But someone had asked me about, like, what do I feel about, like, how Miami matches up with Texas A&M. I think a lot's going to boil down to what I would say the front six, or maybe front seven if you include the nickel, the nickel back in Miami secondary. That front seven for Miami, they need to be prepared for Marcel Reed. And what I mean by that, not talking so much about just the passing game, but his ability from sideline to sideline. Miami absolutely has to keep that in check. And someone asked here at the bottom, will Keontae Scott be back for the playoff game? So Keontae Scott has actually been running at practice now, full on practicing. Haven't had that confirmed to me yet, but he is running and moving around and everything. So he's attacked his rehabilitation process very aggressively since he's been out. It's still up in the air if he will or will not play against Texas A&M. So I'll just leave it at that. But Miami will have guys like O.J. Frederick back. They'll have David Blay back. So they'll be deeper again at defensive tackle. They have all their defensive ends healthy right now too. And then with the secondary as well, I know some people have differing opinions. I've seen some discourse on social media about O.J. Frederick from some Hurricane fans. I think people quickly forget, like, for example, like, obviously Jordan Lyle hasn't had his best year this year, or OJ's been hurt or just hasn't had his best year. Those guys were big difference makers just this season ago. It is normal that sometimes guys might have a sophomore slump or just injuries that come about. It happens. It happened to Reuben Bain the year before and happened to Damari Brown. It's happened to other guys like Duke Johnson got hurt his second year, Denzel Perriman, Sean Spence. I can continue going down the list, but don't write players off so quickly, please.
Yeah, that's always disappointing. As soon as somebody makes a mistake, they're all over them, the fans. I mean, people are still bringing up Carson Beck's interceptions. I know Malik Rozier said, really? I mean, guy had a bad game or two, and people are still like, they expect that. Like Tyreek Stevenson. Oh, Tyreek, he fumbled the ball. It's like he was public enemy number one. Guys make mistakes.
It absolutely happens. And it's funny enough that you mentioned about Carson Beck and the interceptions. I believe this was coming from ESPN. I saw the graphic pop up on social media, and it was talking about Carson Beck's interceptions. Marcel Reed, by the way, is up there on the interceptions too. The graphic was misleading, actually, because they marked Beck down for 11 interceptions. He doesn't have 11 this year. He has 10. So it's already just the discourse that's going on and just the narratives being pushed. But Marcel Reed causes turnovers as well. So you get pressure on him. And, if you watch the tape, does not do well under pressure. So this is a game where Miami absolutely has to get home with their pass rush. But I also do expect Mike Elko on the other side coaching the Aggies that they're going to try to game plan, and maybe they're going to take some bits and pieces out of what Louisville did against Miami. Not so much SMU, but what Louisville did to kind of get the upper hand. So Miami's got to be prepared for that. I think to combat that, if the Aggies are going to go to quick 2-3 step drops and into a bucket for the receivers in the screen game and quick game, you got to bring the defensive backs up. Defensive backs have to be able to tackle out on the perimeter. I think those will be some keys to the game. Obviously, we're still a week out, but just some things I see from afar that I'm anticipating. I don't expect Texas A&M to go in there and just have an ego trip where they think they're just going to run their offense at will and just totally disregard Miami's pass rush this year. I absolutely do think that Texas A&M they're going to have a plan for Miami too. So Miami's got to be prepared. And then just my biggest thing, Texas A&M's got some talented running backs, Reuben Owens, Le'Veon Moss, and Amari Daniels. They got 3 guys back there. Mostly Moss and Owens are their big time guys in the backfield. And their receivers are really good. Really, really good trio of receivers they have. Mostly a lot of the production between Casey Concepcion and Mario Craver. Craver may be one of the fastest receivers in the country, and Concepcion is very versatile playmaker like Malachi Tony himself. Now, defensively, where do I think Miami's offense could find some success? Through the seams, the middle of the field. Texas A&M does have some good linebackers, but I've noticed from watching the tape, they don't do too well in pass coverage. So try to get those guys into space, create mismatches. I think this is a game that Gerard Pringle, his ability to be an extra receiver out of the backfield can very much come in handy.
No, that'll be awesome. That play that he made on the wheel route, calling for those plays all year, and a spectacular catch too. Right, he was coming to the end of the end. It's very difficult for anyone to make, let alone a freshman that hasn't really caught many passes.
I think the last running back I saw that caught a wheel route like that, it looked so perfect. It was probably Greg Cooper against Florida State in 2009.
Yes, I remember that. I mean, and other teams have done it. Florida State would do it with Dalvin Cook, a few times to us, and it seemed like to get him going. And that's what you got to do when you have a fast running back like that. You got to, if you didn't get him all over the field, there's always 2 guys on Malachi. There's always 2 guys on wherever he goes. So right there, we got the advantage. And if someone like that fast can get out of the backfield, so just glad to see the team is changing it around. So. And that is exciting. And so we will see what happens here. So let's get to your question and comments. And we are excited to have everybody here. Juan Manuel, Juan Manuel was on hold, I think, for like 3 hours before the show, Gio. Wow. Welcome. I saw somebody waiting at like 4 o'clock, and I didn't know it was Juan Manuel. Thank you. Okay. Gio, Brett, and Mondo. Hopefully Mondo's here soon. How was your week, gentlemen? Did you enjoy Notre Dame's 80 whining and crying for days? He's still
I loved the Irish tears. I think I'm not thirsty anymore. I don't need any more water or anything. Just the amount of whining and complaining that they've done, and just them still trying to reason that, we're better than Miami, even though it's settled on the field. I don't care to argue with them anymore. I said my piece, and that's that. You know what? They're not in the postseason, so Miami doesn't have to pay attention to them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But it was not just Miami. It was, and like, we're so upset at the ACC for backing Miami. Well, it wasn't really backing Miami. They were just dissing us. Miami's been in there for 21 years, and Miami obviously is a full member. Notre Dame, we don't know what they are. Okay, except for their fans are like, why are we even in this dumb ACC? Because we saved your butts in COVID, or you wouldn't have had any schedule. Nobody would have played you in COVID. And then no other conference would have done it. So we saved you. And now and I like the way that every other commissioner is coming to the ACC. And now, did you see that post today that teams are very upset that they're getting any special consideration, Notre Dame, that they just want to drop schedules with them completely for the way they're acting? Like, why should they get any benefits? What is it? If they win, if they're in the top 12, they're supposed to be in the playoffs automatically? Why?
Yeah, they basically did a backdoor deal with not many people knowing this, and then it was revealed after they were left out. That, oh yeah, by the way, next year. So we signed this agreement with a committee that if we are ranked in the top 12, we have to be in. It's just ridiculous.
And why isn't anybody else? Why don't they just take the top 12 teams? But if you're ranked in the top 12, you're going to get in anyway. Oh, they want to be. So they're saying that if they're taking the top 12, not the top 10, if two teams are coming in after, like in this particular year it did, correct? They don't have to be 10, they have to be 12.
Yeah, basically.
I am so tired of the special consideration, special favors, and everything.
I have a new name for them. I call them Special Treatment U.
I mean, Smacker Apparel had a really cool shirt. It was like a touchdown Jesus with the waving the flags, the hurricane warning flags, and it said the score, and that's a fact. And I said, if we would have lost, it would have sold thousands of it. But the fact that we won, we're just gonna move on. Let them be the babies and crying about this. The Canes are gonna move on. Juan Manuel, Brett, how are those Malachi jerseys doing? We will finally have them on Saturday, which is good. Somebody dropped the ball, and I won't mention his name, but his initials are Brett. Rest in peace, George Myra, who I think wore that number. He did, correct. Blessed fellow Canes legend Bernie Kosar, who was dealing with an infection. Courageous heart. Yeah, George Myra and his son, George Myra Jr., played and for the team. It's a great family. Legendary status. George Myra was amazing, great scrambler, and I remember he played for the Dolphins. I think the year before they went undefeated. I remember him a couple of games, but no, definitely a sad. The guy, he was in his 80s, so he had a good life. He was selling that conch down in Key West, and bless and rest in peace, George Myra. Thank you for bringing that up, Juan Manuel. You got anything to add on the Gio?
Yeah, no, the Matador, and who else better to honor his number than a special talent like Malachi Tony himself?
And that number was retired, right?
Yeah. No one has worn that number on offense for a very, very long time. And actually last season was the first time a player wore that jersey in really long time, which was Simeon Barrow on defense last season.
Mm-hmm. No, Michael Irvin said it when they asked me, his number's retired. And he said, do you want, who is it? Des, who's wearing that number there now? Not Des Bryant. What's his name? The guy that's wearing the number 88 in the Cowboys?
CeeDee Lamb?
Yes. So he said, you know what? I said, let him wear it. Because when they see number 88, they're always going to bring up Michael Irvin. They're going to bring up my name. And they're going to say, hey, Michael Irvin did it this way. If everyone wears it, no one's going to know the number except for the older people.
That's true.
Which is actually a good point. Juan Manuel, Gio, what are you hearing on the portal front? 3 guys. Nick Marsh has wide receiver 1 potential. Sam Levitt, a 6'6", 260 pro prospect. Tight end, Sam Levitt, and a 6'6", 260 pro prospect tight end from Tulsa enter the portal. Will Miami address its needs quickly in 26?
Yeah, so everything's very preliminary right now. Portal officially opens up in a couple of weeks. Now, in terms of like where Miami's interests are, obviously quarterback, running back could be a potential thing that's still kind of up in the air. Miami's very open to the veteran receiver market, potentially taking one from there. So Nick Marsh is a guy that would make a lot of sense. He's played really well early on throughout his career. A lot of teams are going to get involved. There's a lot of discussion and rumors about Jaden Ball at Florida, the running back, who many people consider one of the better running backs in the country this season. A lot of discussion there about Alabama, LSU. I do know that during the season, there was some chatter and discussion, and I had mentioned it before, that was told through the grapevine that his agent had put out some feelers out there to some programs or whatever, and one of the programs that his client is interested in, just one of them, there's other programs he's interested in, but Miami would be one of those if he were to enter. We'll see. Florida's got their new coach, John Summerall, and whatnot. Now, some other preliminary stuff too. So Miami's going to be in the offensive line market as well, potentially looking at center, potentially looking at guard. We'll see what happens there as more names continue to enter. I think one of the intriguing names is the offensive tackle that entered from Arizona State, who has over 30 starts as a multi all conference guy. Defensively, Miami would be back in the market again at defensive tackle. If a big fish enters, obviously they'll throw their name in the ring. Linebacker, I've mentioned this quite a few times already, but the North Carolina backer that entered, actually have his name jotted down here in my notes because I mentioned this the prior week, but what's his name again? Kamari House, who originally started his career at Washington, has over 100 tackles over the last 2 seasons, 80 tackles for the Tar Heels this past season. That is an early name of interest for Miami. Then defensive back wise, I think if Miami were to take one at that spot, you would likely see someone as like the nickel position and how important it is for that defense. So there's some options that have already jumped into the portal. A familiar name is a guy like Edwin Joseph. Not saying that's the one Miami goes after, but that's a name that many people would be familiar with because he played his football down here in South Florida at Chaminade Madonna with guys like JoJo Trader, Jeremiah Smith, and CJ Bailey, and all those other guys that played at Chaminade. So just very early preliminary stuff. And I've heard some chatter as well about Boston College safety Omar Thornton potentially entering the portal too. I think that's someone who Miami would possibly be interested in if he decides to enter the portal. So, and I know the Tulsa tight end that he's talking about. The guy's originally from the state of Ohio. His name actually Brody Foley, 6'6", 250 pounds, over 7 touchdowns this season for the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes.
And we got Bauman out of Tulane, correct? Not Tulsa.
Yeah, they got him out of Tulane. It just
we got a Tulsa guy possibly and a Tulane guy here, but the Tulane guy is leaving.
Yeah, the Tulane guy, Alex Bauman, is out of eligibility after this season.
I wonder how a guy like Alex Bauman feels. Like his team is also in the playoffs. Last year's team, this year's team is in. Does he feel like he had a year that he expected, or you feel like obviously he had a down year because he had scored touchdowns with them? He was a go-to guy.
I'd say like a down, disappointing year. The expectations were much higher for what they thought would happen, but that hasn't come to fruition. You know, there's still other games to be played, so we got to see. But just
you never know. You never know. But guys make that decision. The grass was greener. Maybe he got more money, whatever it was. You know, afterwards, I mean, you wouldn't be human if you didn't think, that team's in the playoff too. Should I have stayed? You know, did I have a position? Was I getting knocked out? Or, you know, you never know what's going through someone's mind. But just goes to show all these transfers going on. At least 50% of them probably, you know, they had to stay before, but most of them, a lot of them probably think, why did I transfer?
Yeah.
The human mind. Jack Harrison, yo, welcome to the show. Kane Smoke, welcome to the show. We're running. Oh, that's you. Yes, we are in Cuban time. That was more me today, Juan Manuel. Computer issues, of course. Let's see, 9-ish, exactly 1 milligram. I actually said 9:15 to a lot of people, but thinking maybe early for once, but that wasn't the case. Hassan, welcome to the show. Gio, Brett, Mondo, and Mondo will be on in about 2 minutes. Good evening. Let's go Canes. It's all about the U. And Mondo, let's go Celtics also. All right. There you go. Juan Manuel, Gio, will Pringle be used fully? To me, Pringle is a second Malachi in the passing game. Wheel routes and deep routes should be routine plays for him. Don't keep him there just to block.
Yeah, I think you've kind of seen Miami doing that already, getting him involved in the passing game. He's a legitimate receiver out of the backfield.
Absolutely. And Fletcher was doing pretty good at catching passes also. And he made some, he's going out some deep passes as well. So I do like it when running backs come out on those wheels. It's a great play. I think teams, you know, it looks so beautiful when it works.
Absolutely.
If you've got a linebacker covering a guy like Pringle, for example, even a guy like Fletcher, but a guy like Pringle, they're not going to be able to cover.
Yeah.
How do you keep it? Okay. 1 milligram with the line of the day. How do you keep a bunch of idiots in suspense for us being late? Not talking about us. I assume that's what he means. I could be wrong. 100% off there. Let's see. Jack Harrison. Let's go. Okay. While we're young. All right. Hopefully, yes, we're here. What's up, Miami Sports 72? Rich Millennial, what positional matchups do you think Miami has an advantage in this game? Which do you think Texas A&M has? Excellent question, Rich.
So I broke down some of that a little bit earlier when we opened up the show, but I'll just go position by position real quick. I think Miami has the experience factor in terms of at quarterback. Yes, Marcel Reed has had a good year. I'm not going to deny that. But again, Carson Beck won, I believe it's like 35 or 36 games now to only 5 losses in his entire college football career. And, you know, people used to say before, oh, well, you know, he was at Georgia. He won 10 games at Miami this year. I don't think it was just Georgia, the product of Carson Beck. I think kind of went hand in hand. So I'll give Miami the slight edge there because of the experience. Now, running back, I'm close to saying a wash between the two, but Texas A&M getting Le'Veon Moss back for the playoff, they may have an edge there. Just off the experience factor that they have with those 3 backs. It's not a talent thing between the two. It's more so, yeah, I'll go with Texas A&M just by a slight for the running backs. Receivers, I'm going to go with Texas A&M, even though I think Miami's depth is better at receiver. Their depth is definitely better, but I think A&M's top group, like their top 3 guys, like the redshirt freshman, and then the 2 guys in Concepcion and Craver, they're one of the best units in the entire country. Now, do I think Malachi Toney and CJ Daniels and Keelan Marion and toss in Josh Moore and possibly a healthy Tony Johnson coming back and JoJo Trader and Dalen Upshaw? Yeah, I think Miami's deeper, but I'm going to give the edge to Texas A&M because I think their top group, like their top 3 guys, is a little bit better as a whole than Miami's. Tight ends, wash between the two. Both don't have a ton of production at that position right now. Offensive line, I'm going with Miami. I think Miami has the better offensive line of the two. I think Miami has the better defensive line of the two. Linebackers, I think Miami's linebackers can cover better than A&M's linebackers, but I think A&M's linebackers are better against the run. So I'm going to give A&M the slight edge there with the linebackers. And defensive backs, I'm going with Miami absolutely 100%. So, and special teams, both have good returnmen. I think that's a wash. Kickers, I think Miami has the better kicker of the two. So I think it's a good matchup overall. I don't see either side just over like dominating the other and whatnot. I think it's going to be a good game. I could see it potentially as a 7 or 10 point win for Miami.
All right. I like it. Rich, following that up with what do you think has to happen December 20th to see Miami advance to the next round? I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to say for Brett's point of view, it's Al Davis, just win, baby. Gio, you can go a little bit more into detail if you want.
Yeah. How well can Miami contain Marcel Reed? Can Miami's back 7, the defensive backs and the linebackers, can they come up with the turnovers when opportunities are presented by Miami's defensive line when they create pressure on Reed? I think that's going to be a big one. If Reed coughs up an interception or two, it could definitely help Miami quite a bit in that game. And the other thing, I think Miami, I know many people have been excited with how explosive the offense has been and whatnot, and I do expect that to continue. But I think this is a game where if they are able to establish the run, it is a path to victory.
Awesome. So, Gio, by the way, I'm drinking this. This is I would always put 5 championships on most everything. So we'd order these glasses. Can you guys see that at all? Let's see, right up there. So it's got 5 championships. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got the 5 championships to you. I would love to see the 6th championship on there. And I know we have a 6th championship, obviously, with the flag in Ohio State, but it's technically not our championship. But I would love to see 83, 87, 89, 91, 2001, and 2025. And you know what all those numbers have in common?
They're all odd numbers.
They're all what?
Odd numbers.
Correct. The Miami Hurricanes have only won in odd seasons. I mean, every year is odd. So, 89, it's amazing. 87, 89, and 91. That we won those years out of 5. Now, 80, and if I'm sure everyone here is a historian, 86 was the Penn State game, which Benny threw 5 interceptions. I think he just threw one just now again. And 88 is the year we lost to Notre Dame, the Cleveland Gary didn't fumble game. So those are 2 championship seasons that we could have easily had as well. So quite the run by the Miami Hurricanes. Let's hope we had 2025. And speaking of 25, entering the 25-year-old himself, Mondo.
I always know it's a professional show when I jump on and the first thing I hear is, Gio, I'm drinking. What's up, guys?
Who said that?
Maybe you.
So Mondo, welcome. I like your suit there. It looks very good.
No, it's a little cool. Well, I want to sound tough here, but it's in the low 60s right now. It's a little nippy out here. It's nice outside here.
That's nice. I went for a walk earlier, and I said, "Yeah, it's a little cool." I mean, I was talking to somebody. My buddy was at an airport, actually he had to do some business in Columbus, and he said it's about in the 20s right here. And I said, "Well, I'm like high 60s, so that's really what." But yeah, so most of the country right now is saying these lucky dogs. So Mondo, how you feeling? I think we're 9 days away, correct?
Yeah, I was talking to somebody earlier. I'm like, this is a long wait though. Damn, I kind of wish they would line it up right now.
I love it.
Yeah,
opportunity.
It's a long wait, but I guess we're still on the celebration mode from being selected. But yeah, just ready for this game. But damn, it kind of stinks that we got to wait till the 20th next Saturday. But it's all good. We'll get there.
If we weren't in the playoffs right now, these days would be, I don't know if they'd be faster or shorter. Does anyone know a Notre Dame fan they can call? We can find out if they know what we're talking about.
I mean, obviously, the last couple of days, 36 hours or so was with this crazy Michigan story. But this one, this is like an all-timer right here. This is pretty wild. I'm not sure if you guys touched on it or not, but
that Michigan thing is absolutely insane. And even the aftermath too, after he was fired, the stuff that came, I'm just like, oh my God. He will never get another coaching job again.
I don't even not just that, but you're talking about possibly knocking her up and then possible forced abortion. This is beyond reality show craziness. This is
it is. Didn't it happen to the Michigan State? Didn't something happen with the Michigan State coach in No, the Michigan State football or basketball? Not basketball, but it's obviously
football. Tucker,
football,
wasn't
Michigan
it?
State, right?
I believe so. Nothing to this degree, but
I think so. Penn State had the Sandusky thing and all that.
Right, right.
I will say though, amongst all that Michigan drama and whatnot, there's a lot of chatter that Bryce Underwood may leave.
Oh, wow.
With everything going on because, and you still have the coaching carousel going on too. And there's some LSU boosters right now that are a little concerned, not of Kiffin going to Michigan. But
oh, wow.
There's rumor. It's just rumors right now. It's nothing substantial and nothing I'm putting my name stamping on, but just discussion that's going on about possibly Kalen DeBoer jumping ship at Alabama to bite at the Michigan job. And then if that were to happen, Lane would Lane consider that Alabama? Like it's just
my God.
craziness.
I would donate. I would donate something to that cause to see Lane jump in again. That would be hysterical. So, who is a leading candidate for other candidates for that job?
For Michigan, I'm not sure at this moment, but just yeah. I mean, I predicted the Lane to LSU thing correctly. I said that over a month and a half ago, and people were like, "Oh no, he's going to UF." I'm like, LSU's the better job. If that opens up, he's going to take that.
Mm-hmm. No, you did say that, and because they're losing recruits, right? Is this the 30-day period that these guys can leave now?
Yeah, there's like there's a 15-day window that opens up when like a new coach comes in at a program. So like guys could leave if they want or whatever to the portal. You have like the official window opening up for everyone in a couple weeks from now. But yeah.
It'll be interesting. Wow. So yeah, it's amazing. That just came out of nowhere, for sure. That's what happens when you don't beat Ohio State. They go ahead and I saw that before. They frame you if you would have beat Ohio State, it would have been all pushed under the rug.
Yeah, because obviously all the talk has been how long did the admin and the school know?
Yeah.
Some are saying months, but
well, supposedly they waited till right after recruiting ended to go ahead and do that. It's like I would feel taken advantage of. Obviously,
you want to know something crazy about that? The chairman of the playoff committee last year, Ward Manuel,
right?
He's the AD.
That's right. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just controversy after controversy.
Judah 12, welcome to the show. Gio, is Moten coming back next year?
That's still kind of up in the air. I haven't been given anything that would confirm that he would come back or any inclination at this point. I think just the guys are more so focused on the playoff run. You have obvious names that will enter who walked out there on senior day, which like Bain, Mauanoa, those guys are going to declare. Like there's no question about that right now. However, I will share one thing. It's not a foregone conclusion yet that Mark Fletcher is going to declare. I've heard there's some deliberation there if he may come back another year. We'll see.
What does a guy like that get paid if he comes back?
That's a good question. I'd have to come back to on that.
He may not be drafted. I mean,
probably best case scenario, like the late rounds. But
one of those guys can get it. He could make more money at Miami than he could. I obviously, running back one last year or 1A, who had a great season. I thought would be drafted higher, wasn't drafted, right? Or did he go in the 7th round? He wasn't drafted. And
Damian Martinez was drafted, yeah, but it was late.
If you go in the 6th or the 7th, a lot of times you'll make more money as a free agent. It's a bidding war then. So it's if you're not guaranteed, I think 4th or better, and you can make good money in college, why not? I mean, there's obviously pitfalls. You get injured or something like that, but then there's insurance policies also. And if you get injured, you can get injured in the pros too, and then you got nothing. So, Jack Harris, I hear they have a super Walmart in College Station now. That's great news, guys. Is anybody going is the question, because I know a lot of people have told me they want to go, but there's no seats, or they couldn't get the seats they wanted, but they may still. I heard they're $5 for upper deck in the end zone, correct?
Yeah, it's been really tough. I know Miami, obviously, it got treated, because some people don't seem to understand yet that this is not a neutral site game. It's technically a road game.
Yeah.
It's not, and it might sound strange, but you actually have a much better, and it's been proven that you have a much better shot of the Ohio, even in the national, even if Miami was fortunate enough to make it that far, you got a better shot at tickets for that versus this game, because they're just not the allotment. Miami wasn't given,
which is
or
ridiculous.
Wasn't able to acquire more than 2,000-3,000 seats. I think 3,500. They said.
Should be a percentage. I mean, even if it's a small percentage, I can see if you have a 60,000 seat stadium. Okay, let's say we're going to give you 3,000, or we're going to give you 10%, 6,000. But if you have, what do they hold? 107.
hundreds. Like today, I read that today A&M had their deal, like Miami did, where they did a sale per donor rank or like season ticket holder rank or whatnot, and they were supposed to have a general public sale tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Well, that was canceled. So either they got rid of all the tickets, or like a friend of mine told me a little while ago, he's like, don't you think these schools also post themselves on SeatGeek and StubHub and stuff like that? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happens. They keep some of the tickets
That's a good
to make some
point.
profit themselves. Yeah, I didn't really think about that, but he makes sense. Yeah.
That definitely, and I've heard when you're sitting in the upper deck. My son sat in that upper deck for that game in 22, and you are so far from the stadium. It's not like anywhere in Hard Rock you can see great, you know. But you
No,
go to
it's
some of these stadiums, you are in the middle of nowhere, out upper deck.
Yeah, at Hard Rock, it's close. But yeah, I think in the I think it's 411, 415, 419 over there. Even on the map, it looks pretty out there. I mean, it's always great to be there in person, of course, but yeah, there it looks really steep, like really far.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I tell people, you know, they got to decide. If we win, we go to Texas the next game. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, obviously people are happy that it's not at night, but contrary to that, they got game days. So I'd still expect a raucous, rowdy crowd out there, regardless.
We need those 3,000 to rush the field if Miami wins.
Now,
you imagine?
Oh man!
So yeah, exactly, that would be great. I don't know why.
Great.
I'm super confident this game. I'm confident this game because I don't think Texas A&M. Anything can happen, of course, but.
Sure.
Like I said, this would be our, you know, we haven't won a bowl game. This is basically a bowl, you know, each one of these games is a bowl game, but bigger.
Oh, yeah.
But also, we've never done well in December, really, since 2002 that we ran out the last 4 games of the season to win, and 2017 to finish 8-4 in Rick's first year. So we don't usually dominate December, and we did in November, and we rarely ever play in December except for a bowl game.
Yeah, and plus, I'm pretty sure that in the back of their minds, they don't want to go out there and lay an egg. After all the talk that Miami belonged and they want to get to the playoff, the last thing Miami wants to do is go out there and lose like 31-14 and 31-10 and have to hear everybody and say, oh, you know what? They should have never been there in the first place. So
that's one thing.
You know they want to perform and put on a good showing and a win, obviously.
We heard that from so many Notre Dame fans and everybody else. Oh, they're just going to lose first game blown out. It's like, okay.
You know they're going to be rooting so hard for us to get smashed. Everybody.
But at the same time, they had a Twitter poll, X post that it asked, and nobody. I saw one Florida State fan said Miami's a clown, but everybody else wanted either Ohio State, of course, or Alabama. Those are the hated team now. Ohio State, Alabama's of the world are the hated teams. Tumulawak LLC. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Heck yeah, I'll be there. I just hope I can get a military discount. Marine Raiders. All right. Thank you for your service. We appreciate your service. Remember at CanesWear, you always get military people always get 10% off all their purchases online or in the store. 1 milligram of epinephrine. Little does ATM know that Mario only A&M know that Mario only loses games as a double-digit favorite. That's so true. What is our record? I mean, when's the last time we lost as an underdog? I mean, yeah, so it's an underdog.
I think maybe Texas A&M in 2022 and anyone else? Let's see.
Well, 25 and 24 weren't. 23, you don't think we lost anybody that's an underdog?
Can't think of any others aside from that.
That is a great comment. We don't lose as underdogs, and we're not a double-digit favorite. I'm pretty confident we will not be a double-digit favorite at all in this playoffs.
Oh no, I can guarantee you.
We don't have a chance at JMU or Tulane, which is crazy. Should these teams be in there? Well, he's like a 40-point underdog.
I told you how I feel about that.
I know how Mondo feels. Let's see. Great news. Duck is here if he's still here. 9:34. Duck is here. Welcome, Duck. It's now that Duck's here. Let's ask: are we going to be able to run the ball in Texas A&M, Gio?
Texas A&M struggles a little bit against stopping the run, even though I think their linebackers are a little better than Miami's in that aspect. I think Miami's going to be challenged against the run game too, so the defensive line has to be prepared. But yeah, we'll see. I think Miami can though.
Awesome. Juan Manuel Gio, there are some guys that hit the portal that fit and make Miami better. We know Sam Levitt. But UCF defensive tackle Walker, Michigan State Nick Marsh, Tulsa tight end Nicholas Harbor is a guy that can stretch a bit. You answered most of that before, right? Is there anyone else you got to UCF defensive tackle Walker? I don't know if we touched on him.
Yeah, John Walker. Yeah, Miami was actually recruiting him out of high school. Just not sure if they go in that direction right now.
Tamula, can we please give Mario's assistant coaches their flowers? All position coaches have done a phenomenal job. They're not being talked about, in my opinion. I agree on that. And we got obviously one is going up for the Broyles Award.
He's a finalist.
Yeah, but when's the last time we had a Broyles Award winner?
I may have to look that one up because it's been quite some time.
I know it wasn't D'Onofrio.
Well done, Brett.
Thank you, sir. I'll be here all week. Well, yes, the assistant coach has done fantastic this year. Juan Manuel, Auburn game was a last drive from a loss, 16-10. Was that game? Yes, exactly. Let's see. The A&M game here at Hard Rock, the offense looked like it did during the UF games in the last 4 games too. Does Mario go back into his shell? I hope the hell not. I don't think
there is no more shell.
Yeah, I don't think there's any going back into that shell. However, I don't want fans to freak out if Miami does try to establish the run in this game. I think there is room to be able to do that against Texas A&M if you watch the tape.
You got to go with your strengths. So, I've been saying since the first game against Notre Dame, we were all saying, if he continues this, even though we won, it was always, if he does this kind of, letting them back in the game, it's going to hurt us. And he did it. And he did it against Louisville, the way he game planned, and he did it against, obviously, SMU and got involved with if we would have beat SMU in that game, obviously, whoever came down hard on Mario wouldn't have came down because they were giving him enough rope. If he hung himself, which he did, I believe, they stepped in. I don't believe, and I think everyone else agrees, this team would not be nearly as good if we did not lose that SMU team game.
No chance. I told you that, and I'm the last person to always say, and I hate when people say after a loss, oh, that was good for them. It's going to be a learning experience. Well, and this is one of the few instances where I fully, absolutely believe it.
Exactly. I totally agree with you, Mondo. Let's see. Hassan, A&M coach Elko reminds me of a Fran Brown. He's an asshole. I hope my shuts his big horse head up. You can tell he's not on Jenny Craig diet. No lost love for Elko here.
So I'll tell you something funny. Brett, do you remember that video that went viral of Notre Dame's defensive coordinator in 2017 saying,
"Yep,
they can have the chain. I want the effing ring or whatever."
Yeah. Yes,
that was Mike Elko.
Was Mike Elko? I didn't know that.
When he was defensive coordinator.
No, that's a great point, Gio. Somebody posted that again yesterday saying, I totally forgot that was Elko. I think I'm the same way. So that's a really good point. I totally agree.
That's why I guess it's making its rounds. I didn't realize. So that's it. We don't want that is fucking classic.
Yeah, that was him.
I did not know that. See, now it has more meaning when the next time I watch it. What's up, Gio and Brett? Patrick Conyers, welcome to the show. What's up, Gio and Brett? Mondo, go Canes. Let's make this run and get this 6th natty. If we win this natty, this will be the 4th time we have won in our city. The last time we did was in 1991. That is true. We've won 3 of our championships in the city. 83, obviously, we beat Notre Dame. Nebraska, we beat the greatest team ever. We beat Nebraska again. We beat Oklahoma the second time, or Nebraska. I think it was Nebraska the second time as well. And the third time, we beat Oklahoma once, and I think Nebraska twice, if I'm correct.
If we are fortunate to get that far, and we talked about it on Sunday a bit, it is the absolute gauntlet from hell. You got to beat A&M, Ohio State, and the Georgia Ole Miss winner. If they are fortunate to get that far, it would be a a run that'll probably be talked about for a long, long time because that's pretty wild.
Heather Dinch has us beating Texas A&M, beating Ohio State, and losing to Georgia. And then some other lady had it today, was calling it off, which is a cool thing. And she says she expects, like, this is the kind of game that Beck throws 11 interceptions. I think that was a little bit harsh on him.
I'm just saying, Marcel Reed throws a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, and we can intercept the ball as well as anybody right now.
Just got I saw a text come up on as we're on the show here personally to me from you guys know Derek, obviously He says that Gaddis won the Broyles Award.
Not for us though.
Well, he just texted me.
He won it for Michigan.
He just came up on my phone. Yeah, he
wanted to come on today, so it's funny. He's asking me to come on the show, talking to Gio, and now he's working you. He's playing all three of us. Bo is playing all three of us, but I'm pretty sure that Broyles won it with Michigan, okay, and then he went ahead and came to us the next year. If you look that up, I'm pretty confident. Is the offense and defense called Broyles Award?
Yes.
Okay. Give one guy both awards. That's pretty solid. All right. Let's see. Howard Stern is in the house. No, let's go. Tamila said, Gio, is it true that Miami's in pole position for the wide receiver from Michigan State?
I haven't heard that at this time.
All right. Gio. Let's say Howard Stern, welcome to the show. We made it this game, and tell us where this program stands for real.
Absolutely.
All right.
Another barometer test.
Okay. What's he going to say about Mario? Howard's not a big Mario fan, correct? I think even Mario's biggest detractors have to give him a lot of credit right now. Carl Mia, Gio, please tell me Miami is going after Savion Hyder and Carter Meadows. They have to have the money cashed away because they missed on Tank Jones and Jay Lott and Cooper Piz.
Yeah. Haven't heard anything about Miami being attached to those two names. I do remember that they were 5-star prospects who signed with Michigan themselves. They haven't, from what I understand, they haven't announced their intentions yet to hit the portal, but it is highly discussed right now if they will or not. It's kind of up in the air. So just leave it at that.
How many guys surprised you last year that came to Miami? Like, not that you didn't know about him like 24 hours before they signed, that surprised you and said, wow, I didn't even think we were going to get him.
I would say Shamar Brown. California and Nebraska were both very confident, and Miami just kind of came in and closed up shop with that at the final hours. Not many were expecting him to end up here, actually. So that was one of the surprises there. Anyone else? I would say. I will say this. Not many people know this, but Mohamed Touré, he actually was offered more from other programs, but wanted to come to Miami. So it's not always about NIL.
He played with Heatherman, though, right?
Yeah.
All right. So maybe we'll see something special from him. I know he has not done exactly what people have thought this year or hoped. I know he's coming off the injury, and that may have affected him, but maybe on the second season he can be the player that a lot of people want him to be.
No, he only has this year of eligibility, though.
I mean, yeah, for the playoffs, the second season. It's a full season here, hopefully, yeah. Congrats to, was it Jackson Cantwell that won the Gatorade Player of the Year?
Yes.
First lineman ever do that, I think I read.
Yep.
That's pretty spectacular. Usually that goes to quarterbacks, wide receivers, right?
Tremendous athlete.
Amazing. So, AO Rant Miami Mayhem show is in the house. Thank you for joining us. Danny Price, will Keontae Scott be back for this playoff game?
We discussst that earlier. It's kind of up in the air.
Up in the air. Left guard, he scares me. He needs to step his game up, according to Howard Stern. He also saying we must establish the run.
Agree.
Gio thinks we will establish the run, I'm pretty sure, correct?
Yeah.
Danny Price, do we expect any more players to hit the portal before the playoff game, or are they planning to wait until our season finishes, whatever that is?
As of right now, not any surprise name. if someone were to enter right now before the playoffs begin for Miami. And also the way it works too, despite like the actual window of January 2nd when the portal officially opens up, the way it works too is if you're playing in the postseason, from the day of your last game, there's a 5-day window for guys to still enter from your program. So we'll see.
Now, we had one player announced today, right, or yesterday?
Yeah, Ray Joseph, but that was long expected to happen. He ended up taking a red shirt this year. He'll have 2 years of eligibility at his next stop.
But so he announced he's going to the portal. So is he done with the team? He's not around them for the playoffs?
No.
So what's the advantage of that for him?
Gets a head start on going to a new program. And what also comes into play there is getting in that portal a little bit earlier could help potentially. Sometimes not. It's kind of a balance there because you could have playoff teams that may lose some guys and they need to add someone or whatever. And that won't happen until later on. So it's kind of a balancing act there. The bottom line is that he was going to leave regardless, though, whether it happened now or later on.
But he was redshirted, correct? How many games did he play in?
He played in 3 games.
All right. So, and you can play in 4 games, correct?
Yes.
All right. So if he stayed on the team and some strange reason they needed him, he could have played.
Yes.
Okay. And for a possible championship.
Yeah.
Okay. Just thank you, counselor.
Well, and the way the rules work, let's say if you preserved your red shirt during the season, from my understanding, if you play in the postseason, it does not count against your red shirt.
That's a tough call. You never know when you're going to play for a championship. And I have to believe he has a relationship with the players. He may not be happy about his situation, but he probably gets along with all the players and be part of it.
I'll tell you this. He's a phenomenal kid, super smart. It's not a talent issue either. It's also the reality. I've brought this up before when discussing that situation earlier this season. Malachi Tony is rarely, if ever, is going to come off the field, and Ray Joseph is strictly a slot. So it's very difficult to get him onto the field when you have someone like Malachi Tony. It's never been a talent issue with Ray Joseph. I wouldn't be surprised if he finds success at his next stop. He was actually having a really good offseason before.
I remember you said that. So just to touch that a little bit more, a guy plays, he's going to redshirt. He's on the team when they win. Okay. He's considered always a national champion, right? You don't have to play. I mean, Braxton Berrios was a Super Bowl champion when they said Super Bowl champion. He never played the whole year. He was on the practice squad after he got hurt. So it's a guy is he considered always a national champion? He gets a ring.
That's a hard call.
Yeah,
I would think he gets a ring. So now when you join the portal, are you still, because you're not with the team then, do you get a share of the ring? Because usually they will if a guy's been there they probably honor him with it. But can you say
I think so,
national championship?
I think so.
These are just things I think of.
It has nothing to do with like personal relationships or anything like that. It's just business at the end of the day.
Exactly. I understand you want to jump on next year. Absolutely. Judah 12, is Moten coming back? And we said we're not sure right now. Obviously, if he comes back, he'd obviously be with a key link on the defense, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So and especially as good as as Messidor and Bain played, I think he'd be great to have back. Hopefully, it's again how much they pay him. Lord Bakington, welcome to the show with the best name in town.
I was going to say, great name.
Great name. The game is 2 weeks away. I think we will be at full strength. All right, we hope so. I guess Keontae Scott's the only one is a maybe, correct?
I was about to ask, Gio, how we looking there?
What, in terms of health-wise?
No, Scott.
Oh, up in the air, but he has been running. So
okay.
Lord Bakington with the hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All right. Raymond Rodriguez, 481. Welcome to the show. Any players that have not played much or made noise for us to watch out for?
I haven't given up on JoJo Trader, like in terms of like his talent, like what he can be. Maybe get some opportunities there in the playoff. We'll see. Being in the receiver rotation now. Anyone else I'd throw out there? I don't want to say Bryce Fitzgerald because I think he's had enough production, started quite a few games already. I said on the last show, I think this could be the opportunity for Elijah Lofton to step up here in the postseason. And he started to get going a little bit near the end of the season, so we'll see.
I agree. Good point. Favorite player the second half of the season, who do you think is the most improved player from both of you?
I like what Marion has done. I think Marion has really stepped up. And he was big because obviously those few games that Daniels was out, I think we know what Tony brings to the table, but how big was Keelan Marion?
Huge.
I thought he performed very, very well late in the season and doesn't get the publicity, obviously, of Malachi, but I thought he did a hell of a job towards the end of the season.
He did, and he had one of the best reaction videos to getting into the playoffs.
I think that was awesome. And he came as a kick returner, really. He's what about anyone else, Gio? I have a player in mind, but I just forgot his name.
Let's say Marion and Justin Scott. Justin Scott's played really well in the back half of the season.
All of a sudden his name slipped me, but the safety, I think, has come a long way.
Zachariah Poyser.
Yeah. Oh, Poyser.
Yeah. I mean, he's right now, to me, he's playing at an unbelievable level. And he's only a sophomore, correct?
Yeah, he's got another 2 years.
So he was a great pickup.
Yeah. And as far as the season, I would say probably – I mean, I love the whole team, obviously, but the one guy that I absolutely just love watching play football is Jacoby Thomas. I just love watching that guy play ball. Like,
I love
what
him.
a season! What a season that kid has had.
Wish he was coming back.
Yeah.
Felger Snowden challenging Lord the Lord as another great name here. He said, let's see, I lost him here for a second. Where'd he go? So, Canes are winning it all. I agree with you. I think we're going to win it all too. I'm a homer a little bit, but I really feel good. That and a dollar won't even get me a cup of coffee. But
we're only a 3.5-point dog at Texas A&M.
Exactly.
A lot of people are picking Miami to win this game, and rightfully so. I think we got a really damn good shot next Saturday. Let's see what happens.
If we win, we get Ohio State after a bye, which is the best time to get them after a long bye. Yeah. So, and a game, and rarely do they ever lose 2 in a row, so they're thinking about that loss a lot.
Actually, we're playing A&M, who just came off a loss, so that would be interesting.
Correct,
The next 2 games could conceivably be against teams that have lost their previous game.
Good point. I guarantee the other team that we play won't be coming off a loss. The third team.
Well, yeah, that's true. Georgia or Ole Miss, exactly.
I thought about that. Juan Manuel, if Keontae Scott is running, things look good. There is still significant time. I would be optimistic. He is not on a boot or limping. He is such a key with read and tackling.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hassan, Gio, we all know Jeremiah Smith was a big miss, but don't you think DJ Pickett was as big a miss for Miami or maybe bigger?
No.
How can you be bigger?
Miami's secondary is just fine this year. I do still think, though, that Jeremiah Smith is a big miss. Could you imagine the hypothetical of having a Jeremiah Smith and Malachi Tony on the same team? That would it was very realistic of happening before. So
could we afford it? That'd be like $10 million right there on those 2 players.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard anywhere from $6 to $9 million that Jeremiah Smith is making.
Yeah, he's making a lot of money.
And Ohio State has, they don't talk about it, but they're loaded with money and alumni, and that program makes a fortune. 1 milligram, we're going into a playoff game. next game week, and this weirdo wants to.
Recruiting
All right.
misses. Oh man,
Everyone's got a favorite.
shots fired out here in
Shots
the
fired.
comments.
That's where we brought Mondo in. Mondo flex a little to bring this to order.
Real quick, I mean, I it might be a bad time to switch the subject after reading that, but Gio, how do you think Hardline will do at USF? Speaking of Ohio State, how do you think he'll do it in USF?
I think he could snag. All right, so usually, state of Florida tends to produce a lot of receivers, and there's some guys that go under the radar and end up at programs like Iowa State, for example, and other places, and produce very well. Or they go to Pitt too. A lot of these kids that go under the radar in the state of Florida, but are very talented though. I could see Heartline landing some of those guys and producing some receivers at USF. I think receivers are definitely going to give USF a look. I don't know if top guys will go there, but he's going to get someone. He's going to get someone at some point.
Okay.
Howard Stern lotion time. All right. Anybody want to touch that one? All right. Manuel.
What is going on tonight? You can tell we're 9 days from kickoff.
Exactly. Levon Moss playing is a big deal.
Lotion
He has not
time.
played since injury, but AMN is a different team with Moss.
He meant Lofton time, but then you have one Manuel sharing lotion.
Okay.
No Diddy.
Man, hey, this is classic. It's awesome.
Lotion, don't you like that in the CanesWear podcast, guys?
Oh man, this
Well,
is a professional show,
Don't
ladies
do
and
anything to
gentlemen.
embarrass the store, Brett. Don't do anything at all to embarrass the store, please.
1 milligram of epinephrine shared lotion time. I don't know what to say. Demetrius Abrams, what's up, Canes family? Y'all doing all right? Go Canes and beat the Aggies. Yes.
Absolutely.
1 milligram of epinephrine, breaking out the lotion for life. Okay.
Oh man, this show tonight just took a hard left turn.
Big mode 9544. Jalen Knighton ran a nice wheel route.
He did.
You actually
yes.
know about that. He did
Yeah.
against I think it was Louisville the year before Mario arrived or something like that. And then the last year he was at Miami. I forgot which game it was, but everyone was in shock. But Gaddis dialed up a wheel route and Knighton caught it for like 40 yards. So yeah. Canesman Laz, go Canes. Howard Stern, Gio and Brett, we need to thank you. We need to thank Manny Diaz for getting us in the playoffs. I think it was going to happen either way. Cocky Ibis, go home fighting Catholics. 1 milligram of epinephrine. My timeline is nothing but Notre Dame whining, and I can't break it. Howard Stern, Gio and Brett, we need to thank Manny Diaz for getting Miami to playoff shirts. Howard Stern said we need some thank you, Manny Diaz, for getting Miami into the playoff shirts immediately.
Oh, for the Duke win?
Yeah.
Well, actually, Notre Dame should be pissed. Notre Dame, I think, is more upset at the ACC for their stupid tiebreaker, as they say, because if Miami would have played Virginia and beat Virginia, which probably would have happened, then Notre Dame would have got in. Because then they wouldn't have had to put Miami would have had its one place from the ACC. So technically, the ACC tiebreaker didn't hurt us like we thought it could, but it hurt Notre Dame. But
what's happening is now is the way the AD went on national radio and started going crazy is that I've been reading, I'm sure Gio has seen it, and a lot of you out there have seen it, that now athletic directors of other schools are weary of even scheduling them going forward because they're pissed off at them. Notre Dame is acting like they're way above everybody else. As far as like, if we're ranked top 12, we're automatically in from the beginning of the season type of shit. So they're starting to piss off a lot of people across the country, scheduling wise, and
Power
stuff
Four
like that.
If Power Four teams really want to stick it to Notre Dame, don't schedule the games with them. Force them to go to the G5.
Yeah.
Exactly. That'd be great. Gio, one thing, Cliff, our old buddy Cliff, who was said he's got like 100 messages that he's done in the live chat and YouTube. Shouldn't we be seeing those, or is he doing something different?
Oh, well, we're still rifting through some of the questions from earlier in the show, so we might come across that at some point.
Okay, so we'll see. So that's it. So Cliff, if you're on here, if you're not still on, then you don't deserve an answer.
1 milligram of epinephrine. Question: why do some people believe Notre Dame saved football during the COVID year? They absolutely did not. The ACC saved them. And Canes Jones follows this up with facts here. Not only did ACC save them during the COVID, we also let them play in the ACC title game without actually being in the ACC for football. Yep.
Wow.
Jack Harrison, the Irish and their folklore. Hassan, Elko is so big, he probably ate the leprechauns, the goofy little leprechaun himself.
Damn.
Howard Stern, NCAA a total scam. Everything is premeditated. I don't know what's more fake, WWE or the NCAA or a pair of Colombian. Oh, man. 1 milligram of epinephrine. Good news is Notre Dame deal is only for 12 to 14 team playoffs. They're going to 16 next season.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
milligram.
very discussed. Yes. We'll
No,
see. I believe they have the final meetings for that. It's supposed to happen in January. If
they got to go to 16. But the problem is sometimes there may only be 9 teams that are worthy, or they won't be able to break it up. But I like 16.
So if you have 16, how many would get a bye week? Would it be the same, the 4, or would there be no buys, or how would that work?
Would it be 8 at a bye? I think there'd be no buys.
I'm not sure how that would
I
work.
don't think there would be a bye week with that. I would have to look.
You'd have to make it 8 teams. The top 8 would get a bye, or no buys.
I mean, that'd be wild. An 8 seed getting a bye? That's like crazy. But
so it'd be bye. Buys.
Interesting.
Let's see. 1 milligram of epinephrine. Did you just say? No, they didn't say that.
Oh, no.
He's ill, though. He's got an infection right now. Canes man Laz. I hope they don't go to 16 team. Howard Stern, keep the snow bunnies away from Mario and Tony, please. No. Jack Harris said no. Kosar has blood infection. Yes. 1 milligram of epinephrine. Okay. Phew. All right. Canes man Laz. We need to go tamper on Mason Heinschel at Pittsburgh. Oh, he's talking about the freshman quarterback at Pittsburgh. Yeah, he had a pretty good year. 1 milligram of epinephrine. I mean, that ain't good either, but the Cal kid. You're talking about JKS. I think everyone would love to have him, but he plans to return to Cal for another year.
Yeah, I was going to say. I could have read that. I read that he was staying.
Canes man last said, I like CJ Bailey as well. Might be a cheaper option too, I would think. Raf Lopez, we back. Been watching 40 years, and this is the most excited I've been. Happy for the young fans that get to finally experience this. Let's effing go. Lace them boots. Beat A&M.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mike, because I've been a fan that long myself, and I mean, not to be all caught up in the moment guy, but it's probably the most that announcement the other day was probably the most excitement I felt in a long time. That was a hell of a moment. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Canes Jones. Gio with a scolion and 70 degrees, and I'm in 25 degrees, bald head, and without one on. Tighten up, young man. Jones, I actually it's very cold in my home. I got it in the 60s inside my house right now.
60s.
Hey, nobody says that to JD Boss when he's wearing it in 90 degrees. I mean, JD Boss is out there 90 degrees with the beanie or the ski hat or the skull.
Gio's in an igloo over there in Broward County.
What are the kids doing now with hoodies? I mean, they come in, you want a hoodie. They want to wear
it is
90 and 100 degree weather.
It's funny you mentioned it. It's a crazy. When my wife usually gets some of the few times I go pick up my oldest son from school, it's a craze. It's like you see all the kids in the school, sweaters and or hoodies, socks and Crocs. It's like it's 95 degrees outside, and my son the same way. He's got his mop top haircut, a hoodie. I'm like, yo, it's 88 degrees outside. Oh, that's a style, Dad. Come on, get with it. I'm like, well, whatever, bro.
I don't want to say this, but this younger generation, we're in trouble.
And it's not just a few of them. Like all of them are wearing sweaters and hoodies. All of them.
I know. They're like
Everybody.
they're melting their brains.
Yeah.
Tamulawak, Tamulawak.
I know that's right.
He said, Gio, I heard Connor Liu, the center at Auburn, who was once a Miami commit, was going to hit the portal. Have you heard anything about that? Have not heard anything specifically. Yes, he's a legitimate NFL draft prospect, but he did have a significant knee injury this year. And it's very tough for centers to get drafted. I think a lot of that will depend on what the feedback is in terms of where his draft stock will be coming off of that. So Howard Stern says, Gio, anything on Dallas Wilson? The Gators just fired the wide receivers coach. The reason why he went there, I think that kid is going to be a Pro Bowler. Here's the thing about Dallas Wilson. There was several times he was actually scheduled to visit Miami during his recruitment process. That fall going into the winter when he flipped his signing from Oregon to Florida. The other thing, Miami was still very much involved with that on signing day as well. So I don't want to jump the gun here or whatever, but if he were to enter the portal, I would absolutely expect Miami to be involved right away. Let's see. Trey Kendrick said, what have you heard about a QB from the portal? In terms of quarterback, I'm sure everyone's heard the name Sam Levitt, but I don't think Miami would just stop right there. And I think one of the issues with that is the injury that he's coming off of, which I've mentioned before. Yes, very talented. He's been to the college football playoff before the year prior with Arizona State, but I think Miami's going to keep their options open as there's still time on the clock too. Portal doesn't officially open until January 2nd. And then, just other playoff teams and everything, they're going to feel the situation out. Very similar to previous processes. So Hassan said, Gio, don't you think Miami needs a safety like Jacoby Thomas? Even Mario said we needed a safety like Jacoby to be a difference maker and set its tone. Yeah, I think Zachariah Poyser has really been coming along in the back half of the season. Bryce Fitzgerald brings a ton of upside in terms of pass coverage. Has to get a little bit better with the tackling himself. If an option presents itself, like if Miami doesn't have to reach on someone, but it's an actual talented guy, I'm sure they'll consider it, but still early. One of the preliminary names I've heard that could potentially hit the portal that I do think Miami would be interested in is Omar Thornton from Boston College, if that happens. And again, that's not including anyone else that enters or whatever the case may be. Nolak said, Gio, any prediction on transfer portal quarterback? Not right now. I think there's much more to happen. Kane Fan Co. What's good, fellas? What's up, Co?
What's up, Co?
DC.
Let's see. Howard Stern. Gio, on a serious note, I heard the Ray Joseph transfer is going to bring some drama with who's dudes giving Mario a black eye in the African-American community. I don't necessarily think so. Look, at the end of the day, it wasn't anything personal there. It was just purely business. Ray was a really good teammate as well, actually. Throughout all the games this year, I would see it after the games. He was with the guys. He was happy for them and everything. It's just it didn't work out here. But, again, it's like, what was Miami to do? Just, let's take Malachi Tony off the field to give other guys playing time. They're not going to do that. It's just reality.
The key thing is if Mario wins, it doesn't matter what anybody says. Not that he has to win the championship. I just think Mario needs to solidify this season by winning at least one game. One game, and I think this is a major success. They lose this game against Texas A&M. I think people will still say he shouldn't have lost to SMU, but if they win this one game against Texas A&M and play a close game against Ohio State, I think everybody is pro Mario. No, he beats Ohio State, it's going to be pandemonium.
No, obviously I want to win, no doubt. But I think he, win or lose, I think he's gotten in the good graces of a lot of people that 3 or 4 weeks ago had turned on him, frankly. and I keep repeating it, that the SMU loss seems to happen for a reason, because we're a much better team. We're playing differently. We're much more aggressive on offense. And what brought up that upon was probably desperation, because they knew that one more loss, you're done. So I think win or lose this game next Saturday, I think the fan base will be happy. There's an excitement right now. And also plus the way it went down. Honestly, if you look at that last morning, the odds weren't in our favor to get in. It didn't look like we were going to get in. So I think he's in everybody's good graces right now. But we want to win, obviously, next Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, the winning is, getting there is nice. But after all the Canes fans went through, supporting the team, and a lot of people believe the Canes fans had something to do with it. The way we got behind everything on Twitter, and everywhere else, it was awesome. And then Mario, I was saying, Mario, why isn't he saying anything? But the second we won our last game, he was everywhere. So he was just waiting to win.
No,
Kovic, everybody just, but the fans also, and I know the Hurricane players, and I know the Hurricane coaching staff and everything appreciates what all the fans did. We really did come to the rescue and help it and get it going. And I think that was one of the big reasons why, everyone else rallied around it.
In terms of numbers, there may be, bigger alumni, bigger fan bases. But I'll tell you this, like you talked about X, whenever like a national person or whoever posts a comment or whatever, if you look at the replies, it's always flooded with Miami people. Always. Like it's Miami fans are like extremely passionate. So yeah, I'm with you. I got you. When you don't want to see next Saturdays get blown out. I'm not there for a participation trophy, but if we get blown out, it's going to be like, oh, you see, they should have never been there from the first place. And that's the last thing you want to happen next Saturday.
I'm not a betting man, Mondo. But I will bet anything we will not be blown out. I don't want to jinx us.
I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win the game, period. Yeah. So
I think we got a better chance of blowing them out than we got. Now,
next Saturday to me is the perfect spot for a veteran quarterback like Carson Beck.
Yeah. And our players are so hungry now with this second chance, I think. It's like they were basically thinking they're out, and now they got a new life.
If only Keelan Marion was a little happier about getting in, guys. I mean, geez, come on, show a little emotion, huh?
That's Cane Fan Co. Linebackers need to be disciplined when it comes to watching Reed. Yes, absolutely. We discussed that earlier. Hassan, Gio, who's the Notre Dame recruit that's so upset that after a play he's throwing the U down and he's not even on the team? He better stop because he might play for Miami someday. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is, but I'll look it up.
He's a 5-star. He's a 5-star.
I saw a photo. Did you see after the SEC championship? Who was it? The Georgia players that were throwing the U down after winning the SEC championship.
Oh,
Colby, was it?
Colby Young threw the U down.
Where did that come from?
Josh Porton threw up some middle fingers, and then Colby Young on his Instagram story, he put grass is greener. Meanwhile, none of the three were
playing in the game.
Contributors.
Exactly.
Didn't even play in that game against
Unreal.
Yeah, just clown behavior. Howard Stern it's put up or shut up time for Carson Beck. $4 million. We need some return of investment on that money. Yeah, I think that's why you bring in a quarterback like that who's
this is the time
very, very well experienced and versed in the game. You certainly hope he could lead you when you're in this type of position right now.
Well, Gio could probably speak on this, but people are saying also that he missed a lot of the spring and/or summer. That now is when he's starting to really, especially right after the SMU game, he's starting to really perform. He's like 11 scores and 1 pick since that game, and more familiarity with the other guys. And he missed time, they're saying, and he's stepped up in the last 4 weeks of the season. He's playing tremendous ball.
I definitely think so as well. Carson's got my vote for quarterback of the year at the Miami Hurricanes. I love people that still say we should make Malachi a full-time quarterback. I mean,
no.
Exactly. It's like he throws the ball better. It's like, okay, Malachi's great where he's at. Throw it once in a while. If they want to throw a few more times. But you know what? On trick plays. But I don't want him lining up under center.
No, absolutely not. You would be limiting his ability, actually. You want to put him around the field like a chess piece.
Exactly. That's the way to do it.
Trey Kendricks, we have to attack Desmond Ricks in the pass game. He's the weakling in the Texas A&M secondary. Let's see. Des Ricks, the weakling. I remember Mario was going crazy for him several years ago. Yeah, that's before Des Ricks ended up at LSU. 1 milligram of epinephrine said 2000 should have also been a championship as well. Yep.
Yeah, they kept us out of the,
100%
the game,
correct.
if I'm not
The
mistaken.
team was, to me, that team was as good as 2001.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people think 2001 because you had Dan Morgan, you had Santana Moss, and you had a Reggie Wayne.
Yeah. I didn't Jeremy Shockey in one of those 30 for 30s say that he's from Oklahoma, that he had friends because Oklahoma played FSU in that game, right? If I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
for the title.
we beat FSU.
Right, in Oklahoma, his buddies were saying that we didn't want you guys in, so we were very happy you guys didn't get in. We didn't want to play against you guys.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Howard Stern, Sean Moore is done. But if the girl was from Opelika, nobody would care. Canes Jones, Kitty is undefeated. Stay away from the interns.
Damn.
Giovanni Foster, hey Gio, Bryce Fitzgerald was robbed of freshman All-American. I agree. He led all freshmen in the country in interceptions. How was he not on any freshman All-American
Correct.
list?
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of those teams, wasn't there one surprise that was first team ACC team? Everybody was knocking him, and how did he get first team? One of the great names in college football, the center. Didn't he get first team ACC?
I'm not sure if he got first team ACC, but he did land first team All-American center for CBS.
And I thought it was first team, but that's maybe what it was. And that's we had a lot of guys then that were in the first two for CBS because we had Malachi was the wide receiver, right? Reuben Bain was a. Anyone else that we had? Those
it was Malachi, Reuben Bain, Francis, Brockermeyer, and there was one other. I think it was Keontae Scott also on there.
Keontae Scott, even though he missed some games. Wow.
Yeah.
Could he have won the Thorpe Award if he would have been healthy the whole year?
He should have absolutely been a finalist, even regardless of getting hurt. I don't know how that happened.
Is he in his last year? Is he a senior?
Yes.
No eligibility? Okay.
Yeah. Trey Kendrick said, I think Dan Lanning will go to Alabama if DeBoer leaves. Yeah, I could see that actually. Giovanni Foster, what chances Scott? We already discussed that. Trenton Breeze, thank you for stopping by. Howard Stern, Manny Navarro on the Big O can block better than our left guard McCoy. Oh man.
Oh geez.
Juan Manuel, Miss Hudson and Big Bill in Chapel Hill don't know what the big fuss is about. Miss Hudson and Big Bill believe in free love and bareback in the workplace. Look at us.
What about this talk about Freeman possibly with the Giants, Gio? You buy into this?
I mean, I think that would be devastating for Notre Dame if he up and left for the Giants right now.
Yeah, a lot of talk about that.
It would be a double whammy right after just not making the playoffs too.
Yeah.
Giovanni Foster said, hey, Gio, how has Tommy Kinsler's development been? So he's the backup for Francis right now at right tackle. They like what they've seen so far to this point, but he's going to have to compete for a job in the spring. Nothing will be handed, so we shall see. Patrick Conyers, Kalen DeBoer got the Michigan head coach vacancy, so he's not coaching the playoffs for Bama. Jojo Gunn, Fletcher should learn from Martinez. Very true. Come back another year and try to see where you can improve your stock. Hassan, Brett, I love your shirt. Do you sell that shirt also?
Yes, this shirt is. I think we're just we do have them, but I think it's I think it may be showing out online because we just moved some boxes around, so we'll have it back online tomorrow. This is the Cobra Cane. When Cobra obviously not Cobra Cane, when the Cobra Kai started from the.
Oh, there you go.
We were into it. Jeff, Ken, and I were into it. So we had this shirt licensed, and it sold out several times. So we still have a few boxes. We still have some in the warehouse. So, but we try to rotate some shirts so they're new sometimes again. So we will put it back online tomorrow.
Yeah, that point about Fletcher, and I think Brett mentioned it, and I do love the shirt about Fletcher, and you saw last year with some of the Canes players last year. The thing is, sometimes an agent or maybe their peers tells a kid, you know what, I could, or even a friend can tell you off the record, hey, I think you can go 4th round. Hey, I think you can go 3rd. I think, and they get that in their head, and then, you know, they say, you know what, I'm going pro. Then draft day comes, and unfortunately, you can't predict it. You go 7th round, you go undrafted. It happens. It's not. There's no guarantee you're going to get picked. It is what it is. It's a risk.
I still want to know what happened with Simeon Barrow last year. He had a tremendous pro day. Yeah. No one drafted him. I was just like, what?
Very strange.
Like, he had a really good year too. It was kind of wild to see.
You never know.
Giovanni Foster said, "Can you project the starting O-line for next year?"
Wow.
Not really right now, because I know they'll look at portal too. And then I think, considering the investment they made on Jackson Cantwell, I think he's going to start out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I think one of your other starters will probably be Matt McCoy, just with the amount of experience he's had to this point, and then just it's just going to be a lot of competition, a lot of open spots. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if Miami goes back in the portal again for center yet again.
Wow.
Howard Stern. Gio, is it true that Jackson Cantwell struggled in the practices last year at the ESPN All-Star Game in Orlando? I wouldn't say exactly struggled. From the feedback I got on that is he had a little more trouble with speed rushers at the time, but I think people also need to understand that offensive linemen are never a finished product coming out of high school. Like, there was even things Francis Malinois had to work on when he arrived at Miami too. So we'll see. Juan Manuel, Gio, Brett, and Mondo, Notre Dame maybe should look into joining these Nuts conference officially. They will promote Notre Dame. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm breaking character here, but
yeah, he's breaking character. I
couldn't believe the comment I just read. That was funny. Cliff. Oh, here's Cliff's comment.
We found the Cliff question. He said, "This is so weird. He's been blowing up my phone."
He said, "What's up, boys? Go Canes! Thank you for stopping by, Cliff."
I bet you Gio doesn't get those kind of comments on all the other shows he goes on.
Howard Stern. As long as Mario stays out of the way from the play calling, we will be fine. No lack. Texas A&M 1-11 when they host College game day.
Oh, my goodness.
That's rough.
Let's make it 1-12.
Are they really 1-11 when they could? Wow, that's got to be one of the worst. That's
yeah. I've seen that.
Big time game environments is not their forte. Cliff said, "Brett, we need a playoff hoodie," and he said we need a playoff hoodie. And he said, "Let's go Canes. Mondo equals the GOAT."
Ooh, Mondo, the GOAT. What time are you on, Gio?
Around the 10:24 marker, around there.
Yeah, I'm doing an email for tomorrow at the same time, Ken. But yes, go. I'm there. I found us. Thank you. I'm back, guys.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree with Cliff's point as far as I've told you guys a couple weeks ago that the last two teams that got in, to me, and I'm all for giving the underdog a shot, but I want the top 12 best teams, and I think it's ridiculous. Like, JMU's a 21.5-point dog to Oregon. Like, really?
Yeah.
Am I gonna have to watch that? Like, it's ridiculous. But
who's gonna start? Pringle or Fletcher? Someone just asked on the other board.
Who? What?
Who's starting? Pringle or Fletcher? Are they both basically starting?
They're both basically starting. It doesn't really matter who starts the game. It's more just formality. Cliff brought up James Madison and Tulane should not be in the playoffs. Sorry, not sorry. I agree with him.
Yeah,
they're gonna get demolished. Better Duck. Of course, I'm still here.
Run the football, Ducky. Run the football.
I don't know how to say this. Jose Nelson Triana. We should get the USF QB. That dude is a baller. You're talking about Byron Brown?
It was good.
I think he's a good runner, but there's limits to his passing ability.
I read this morning that they talked to his family, the coaching staff, and he's going to sit out the bowl game and actually help out coaching for the game. Because obviously, yeah, I read that this morning. So that's interesting.
Cliff put CanesWear needs a playoff hoodie. Hit the like button for my guys.
Yeah, if you guys, we did not order one yet, but we can have it. We can have it in just a few days. We have the long sleeve coming in. We got the kids shirt coming in. If enough people want the playoff hoodie, we will definitely get it. Have it for probably Tuesday.
So New King God shared, we need to treat Howell. So Howell is the big time pass rusher for A&M. He's got about 11 sacks this year. He's made some All-American lists too. He's an All-American like Bain. We need to treat Howell like Braun treated Bain at times. Howell's going to try and rush around Bell. When he does that, he leaves a huge hole, and we need to run right through there.
That's a great point.
I agree.
It's a really good point.
One man will put, hey, there is substantiated rumor that Ty Simpson is seriously hurt with hernia lower extremity injury. What happens if Simpson doesn't start versus Oklahoma? Would the college football playoff penalize Alabama if the QB is hurt? I mean,
no.
They can't do anything about it now. I do know that Alabama has two other quarterbacks that have been highly rated coming out. One is the kid that followed DeBoer from Washington, which is Austin Mack. And then I believe they have Keelan Russell there too. So they got some talent back there. Now, if they're as good as Simpson, that's a whole other question.
Yeah.
Demetrius Abrams, hit the like button, Canes family. Yes, hit the like button. Like
button, baby.
Clifton Boy, let's go Canes. Heather Dinish is trash.
Oh my God.
1 milligram of epinephrine. Broyles Award winner Josh Gaddis, aka Taninos.
Oh, what did he call him? Oh my God,
Taninos. Cliff Brett, you're correct. Mr. Hey, Miami 24, Aggies 21.
Hold on. Did I hear Brett's correct? I like that. Repeat that again.
I actually told somebody before coming on here, Miami 27-23. So we're in the same roughly ballpark.
I'm going to go back to my 41.
I got 31-24. I think the magic number is as long as Miami gets past 30, they can win any game against anyone.
41-24 or 31-14. One of those. We're winning by 17.
Ooh, 31-14.
31-14 or 41-24.
Wow.
I've got one of those two. 17-point win.
Wow.
New King God, you think if we make a run and Carson plays well enough, he could be a first-round pick? Anything is possible. I think if he lights it on fire through the playoffs, obviously it's going to catch a lot of GM's eyes and even the people that make the mock drafts and whatnot or whatever. So there's still the whole pre-draft process he'll have to go through and everything, but it could certainly help. I know it tanked Quinn Ewers' stock last year. His stock went way down with the playoffs.
I mean, us that are Miami fans, we knew about Malachi, but I will say to that point, a lot more eyes were on us the last 2, 3, 4 weeks of the season that maybe wouldn't have seen Tony play earlier in the year. And I think that helped Tony as well, to Beck point. So there's going to be, if we go far or farther, Beck is going to have a lot of eyes on him, so it can only help. I mean, it ain't going to hurt anything. I don't know about first round, but that might be a stretch, but who knows?
Listen, there have been crazier things that happen. I'm not getting people excited, but than Beck leading us to a championship.
Yeah. Howard,
he's not the only guy, but I don't think he gets as much credit. I think people are like, he had a couple of bad games, but he won the Notre Dame. He didn't single-handedly win the Notre Dame. We got lucky on some of those plays, obviously, the great catches, but the throw to Malachi was as good as anybody can make in that.
He's been dialed in. Like his throws the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's been on point. Like he's playing really good football.
Behind everybody at the beginning of the season.
He's balling right now.
Yeah, he's been playing his best football throughout November. Well, now we're in December, but You get what I mean.
Mhm.
Howard Stern, Carson's going to have to play great if he gets us to the championship game. I think he works his way back into the first round. Yeah, if he can get Miami to that point, yeah, a lot of things could change. 400 get money. Hey guys, can you please inform me what is going on between Michigan and Miami? Michigan and Miami.
Well, I will say this. Hopefully, nothing after what's going on up there. I don't know what that question's
Michigan
about, but
and
hopefully
Miami.
nothing. I don't know, but I think Michigan's the last people we want to be involved with right now.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Let's see. Cliff put CanesWear is the best store in the country. Yes, it is.
Cliff, you're the best. You make me sort of warm and fuzzy.
I mean, but seriously, I'll repeat it again. All jokes aside, can you even make that story up there? Like the cheating the cheating, and then all the other stuff. It's crazy, man. Like, wow.
Lack of institutional control.
Oh yeah.
E. Whitty, I feel like we don't talk enough about Dalen Upshaw. I don't think he's dropped the ball that has been thrown to him. Yeah, he had that one screen pass. I think it was the game against Syracuse or something that was really impressive. Just how he got upfield and just I think it was like 40-something yards he went with.
That was beautiful. That was the game that Keelan Murray had the big game, correct? Like the 3-4. Which game was that again? Stanford?
I believe it was Syracuse, actually.
Syracuse, yeah. So no, he looks he definitely looks like he's special.
E. Woody says, "Sup, Gio? What do you expect the running back rotation will be next year?" I think obviously Pringle will be involved. It's kind of up in the air about Fletcher. We'll see with Lyle. Brown obviously will be somewhere in the mix there too. So I still think it's a little too early to discuss
Brown's
that.
coming back?
Yeah, he's still got eligibility.
And you think he's going to come back? Oh, he'll be our we'll see. You think he'll want to come back if Fletcher and Pringle are still here?
Yeah, that's another question too. I still think it's a little too early to tell. Howard Stern, okay. Correct again, Brett, you are on fire. Cliff said, "Come out strong and run the ball. Get the crowd out of the game early." I agree.
Absolutely.
E. Whitty, how many false starts do you think will be called on us? Hopefully the O-line is on point. Who knows? I'm gonna try to see what the officiating crew is before that game.
That is good. It won't be SEC if they're home, correct?
Well, it's definitely going to be a madhouse, but I will say we have really cut down on the penalties big time the last month.
Yeah, yes.
I'll say that.
So here's a riddle: if an ACC team, if the Canes are playing Texas A&M and it was an ACC staff, let's just say a ref staff, would they still root against the Canes?
No, this is the thing. We're probably better off with an SEC ref than ACC at this point. ACC refs are terrible, man.
10 because the Big Ten staff may not want us to go play Ohio State, so maybe the Big 12.
I mean, isn't that something that we're one win away from playing the defending national champions in a playoff game? Like, this is it's so exciting. It's crazy. One win.
Mondo. I feel you. I feel the energy.
Can't wait.
The Cliff shared here. I need a $50 gift card.
Look at Cliff. Look at Cliff.
So do I. Can you send me? I got to get something at Home Depot.
He also said, "Brett, turn your phone off."
Turn your phone off.
Yes, I had to do with the email for tomorrow. So with Ken says, "Are you paying attention to what's in there?" I said, "I'm talking on a podcast and typing. What thing? We got like 20 new
Lace your
hoodies.
boots.
We got 20 new hoodies, but they're not on. We haven't unboxed them yet, so I'm putting them in there. So it's some of the backroom stuff, guys. Just nothing to see here."
Gilbert Reyes, good evening. What's up? Thank you for stopping.
There he is.
Gilbert is back.
Jojo Gunn, any linebacker covering a running back is going to have trouble. Kiko had trouble also, and he's playing on Sundays. Yep. Get those mismatches. You got guys like Malachi Tony and Gerard Pringle who could both line up in the backfield. Use it to your advantage. Get those matchups.
Utilize them.
Bobby Perkins. I almost read it as Bobby Petrino. But bet on the Hurricanes $100. Nice.
I'm with it. I may join you on that one.
I'm with you,
sure.
baby. Who loves you, baby?
New King God said here, if we were to lose against Texas A&M, tell me what would be the reason why. If Miami can't contain Marcel Reed in terms of his ability to extend plays and also get downfield when the pocket breaks apart. And I think that'll be one part to it. And then part two is if Miami's offensive line has a disappointing performance, because Texas A&M has a pretty good pass rusher. So those would be the two reasons why if they lost that game. Well, and then you could say who wins the turnover battle between Beck and Marcel Reed. I think that's going to be a really big one. Howard Stern said Kirby Freeman to the transfer portal.
Damn, throwing it back.
I got a crazy story for you guys about Kirby Freeman, actually. So when he transferred out of Miami, he had a University of Miami tattoo, right? This goes back to like the old message board days. He like did a cover up with his tattoo where he made the U into like the O of Oregon because he transferred.
Get out of here!
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, I think Howard Stern actually was close here. I don't think. I mean, is it possible that Freeman does go into the transfer portal? But I'm not talking about Kirby. I'm talking about Marcus. Rumors are the Giant job may be available to him. Would this be a good year? I mean, I think he's a great coach. Could he take the Michigan job? Could he take another job? I think it's more likely he's going to the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think he would jump away from the Notre Dame job unless it's for something like that to play in the NFL. I mean, to coach.
You're a Giant job. This guy, I think, is a great coach. I think he is a great coach. I mean, if the Dolphins continue losing, maybe he goes to Miami. Who knows? But they won 5 out of 6 against the Steelers on Monday night. I do not like the Dolphins in that game. It's only a 3-point spread. Monday was going to be 19 degrees, and Tua and the boys do not play well under 35.
Yeah, Gilbert Reyes shared working a double, trying to put that championship money together.
We like you, Gilbert.
Grinding.
Jake Tapper. I'm only scared of Georgia, but I'm confident in Miami versus Texas A&M and Ohio State. Ohio State got exposed. Saying can't handle pressure. I still think Ohio State's a very dangerous team.
Yes. I mean,
most saw what they did last year coming off a loss. So, yeah, some people are writing Ohio State off again. I don't know why.
They do have a freshman. What is he, a redshirt freshman quarterback?
Yeah, Julian Sand, yeah.
Sand, yeah.
Howard Stern's put Brian Hartline is a good recruiter. He's not a good coach, and he's a terrible offense coordinator. He will fail at USF. I don't know if he would fail at USF. I think he's definitely he's going to get some kids interested to play for him.
He played for the Dolphins. He's local in Florida. I mean, I think he'll get a good recruiter. Isn't he a great recruiter at Ohio State?
Yeah, he was a pretty good recruiter there. Howard Stern put, everyone looks nice in front of a Ferrari and Lamborghini, but USF is a Honda Accord.
Sheesh. True. Hey, Honda Accord was very dependable the last 11 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he could have picked another car than the Honda Accord.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think try again. I think he could have gone with something else. A Ford Pinto.
Prod by Pack TV. Any interest on bringing Riley Williams back to Miami? Missed it if you already spoke on it. Haven't heard anything specifically on that. I know the reasoning why he left after last season. It had to do with just basically being homesick. So kind of is what it is. He ended up going to Oregon State. It was just weird fit overall and everything. He could have helped Miami this year, actually. Miami could have used the tight end that is a legitimate blocker this season. Absolutely. JoJo Gunn, St. Thomas 29, the Lakeland Dreadnoughts 0 final. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's bad. Howard Stern put, wow, Lakeland is not what they used to be. Yeah. It's to get shut out in a playoff game. Yeah. Howard Stern put, Brett, you getting any Inter Miami championship gear?
We have a great shirt, that tour concert shirt coming, all the players' names on the back. It looks really cool. We will have that tomorrow in store. We're supposed to have it tomorrow. Plus, we have a lot of, we have a couple other things coming, but that shirt I just love. And also have other stickers and decals and pennants and things like that. They may be there here tomorrow as well.
This is a great comment from Drew Cohen, because when I talked about, just matching up the positions side by side for each team, I said that Miami has the edge in the kicking game, that they absolutely do. Drew Cohen brings up here, who knows, but it's something I'm thinking about. Texas A&M is 5 for 11 on field goals from 40-plus yards.
Oh, wow.
0 for 3 from 50-plus.
Wow.
Absolutely going to play a factor.
Not going to lie, I was not aware of that, and that is a huge – that's a great comment there. I'll got my eyes on that now for sure.
Got my eyes on that for sure. But, it seems like a lot of times when teams play us, all of a sudden these guys take something and they're automatically like their Popeye spinach ring, and automatically they're great.
Yeah, but 5 for 11 from 40, that's less than 50%. That's pathetic. That's like, oh, man.
0 for 3.
Wow. So that means if it's like 4th and 3, 4th and 4, 4th and 5 or less, they're probably more prone to go for it than knowing that they're kicker, which probably plays into our hands defensively.
New King God asks, top 3 positions outside of quarterback Miami will go after in the portal. Number 1, linebacker. Miami's going to be big players in that market. The other one I would put, they always value defensive tackles. So Miami will be in the market for that. I know they've expressed interest in some JUCO tight ends, potentially what may come up in the portal. So I'd go either tight end. Well, actually, you know what? Let me stop right there. Quarterback right after the linebacker. Let's see here. Juan Manuel. Hey, Miss Hudson and Big Bill are amazed. Life comes full circle. Not too long ago, Big Bill and I met Brown at a Diddy party. And Miss Hudson think he was charming and had bags of baby oil for some reason. Oh my God!
Wow.
Hawaiian Kane.
Who's writing his material?
Yeah, that's some incredible fan fiction. Hawaiian Kane, great show, guys. All eyes are on Michigan with numerous players entering the portal, namely Bryce Underwood. Yeah, there's a lot of discussion behind that right now. Now, if he entered the portal, I would absolutely like Miami to throw their hat in the ring there. I'm not saying it for sure would happen, but they should absolutely enter their name into that. Howard Stern, good call, Brett. If he wins one game in the playoffs and gives Ohio State a fight, yes, great season. If we lay an egg, good, decent season. He's talking about Mario.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Obviously, you're agreeing with me that I agree with you, and you agree with me.
Jojo Gunn, if we had beaten SMU, we'd be getting ready for a home game at Hard Rock this weekend. Yep, that's true.
Yeah, but I'm going to say I think we're a better team for it. And I'm not that guy, bro. I'm telling you. I hate when a broadcaster or a coach says, oh, we're better for that loss. I think it galvanized us and brought us close together. I'm like, yeah, bullshit. But in this case, I think it did. I think it did. The offense is miles and miles and miles more aggressive and we're a much better team.
Absolutely
period. Is. And so I get his or her comment, but I disagree. I think we're a better team right now. I don't care if we're on the road or away or at home. Don't matter to me.
All right. Gilbert Reyes, if we win a natty, they change Coral Way to Mario Cristobal Way. Howard Stern said there's no good football players in Coral Way. Chef Will 91. Why would you even entertain a blowout of Miami? Who has done that this year? Very true.
No.
Exactly. Who said
Not
that?
gonna happen.
You're being docked 20 points.
Temulawak said, guys, just call me Temi. I'm launching my company soon. It's pronounced Temu Lawak. It's Indonesian. Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Is that a restaurant or is that a cookware company?
Not sure.
It's an LLC, so it may not have anything to do with that. But congratulations on the new company launch. Wish you all the luck.
Howard Stern said, I think everything changed when Shannon Dawson and Mario Cristobal argued at the SMU game. Mario realized he was wrong. Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of change since then.
I think, yeah, somebody said, wait, Howard Stern, somebody said it to me on the phone today. That's what he believed it was. That wasn't Howard Stern. Who said that to me on the phone? Somebody said it to me today. That exact thing. Now I'm trying to figure out who the Howard Stern is, but now I got to figure out who said that to me.
Gilbert Reyes, Canseco could have played football. Juan Manuel, Gio, have you heard the NCAA upcoming meeting considering 5-year eligibility? Yes, I have. What if it passes? Who is a better fit than Sam Levitt to lead Miami? Leadership and big game experience. It all depends on who else enters. It's obvious that Levitt will enter. I do expect Miami will express plenty of interest there, but there's still a lot of time left on the clock. You got the Michigan situation going on now. Bryce Underwood could potentially hit the portal. This could be other names that end up hitting the portal.
What year is he, Bryce Underwood?
He's a true freshman this year, so he's got.
We're going to bring in a true freshman with the guy who we think is.
He had a pretty good freshman year, though.
Darian Coleman. Is it Darian Coleman?
Yeah, you have Darian Coleman coming in.
Yeah,
well,
so
he'll be a sophomore this upcoming season.
That'd be kind of tough for. Coleman is supposed to be. So why would? I just hope they have some good linebackers we can grab from them.
Yeah. Temi said here, Mario said the team changed after the SMU loss. They had a team meeting and a coming to Jesus moment.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, they did, because one of the players, I realized, called timeout and we were just about to win the game. And they said the players won't do that anymore. We're just about to win the game, and they called the timeout, one of the players. And then I heard one of the players decided to fall on the ball at the end of the game and not go ahead and try to score with 30 seconds to go in a timeout. But
no, if A&M doesn't beat us, they would have earned it, because we're playing as good as anybody in America right now. I'll say that much right now. So
we're joking, it wasn't players.
Yeah.
In case anyone calls it. You're right, Mondo. Mondo, what would you predict?
I said 27-23, and I'll stick with it. I mean, I'll take a blowout. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's two evenly matched teams on the road, 100,000 people. It's a very tough venue. That is a very tough venue to win in, and I think we can do it. Why not?
Yeah. New King God, what's happening with this running back Kimon Spell? Do we have a chance? So he ended up visiting Miami's in the mix, Alabama, a few other SEC schools, Michigan. Michigan now with their troubles is a whole other thing. Penn State with their whole disarray, even though Matt Campbell's coming in, but still very early on in his process. Temi said Malachi made the team at the flex position, the All-American team. Yes.
That is amazing.
James Kane, G5 needs its own playoff. I agree.
100%. Great call.
1,000%.
Mondo, I like it. I'll take your 100. I'll raise you.
Again, it could have easily been us instead of Notre Dame out, because you have to get these teams in. I think it's BS.
I'd rather be a champion of the G4 or whatever they're called, G5. That's G4 since that conference. The G5 conference wins, then go ahead and lose by 30. Now, I think they may play better than some people think. Tulane, especially. I think.
Well, think about it. Even in the terms of Oregon and Ole Miss, yeah, they're in a first round home. They're at home, but they got to play a game against a team that's a 17 to 21 point dog.
I feel so bad for them.
And what happens if one of their stars gets hurt? That's it. Now let's say Ole Miss has to go against Georgia. It's just a game that doesn't. I don't know.
Yes, those two games. Like when you look, it's like a Sweet 16. You're picking this. People are picking the brackets on this. But those two games are easy. Can you imagine if it was Notre Dame in one of those slots and Texas or Vanderbilt in the other one? That's basically what it would be.
Yeah. Because I don't think much about Alabama, Oklahoma, but at least that's an even matchup where you don't really know who's going to win. That
makes me so pissed off that they're playing these teams again a few weeks after they played in a boring game. Both teams have no offense. Let's figure out how we can let Alabama beat somebody.
Alabama's solely in because of name, and their past and the conference they're in. Because if you watch their games the last 6 weeks, they have been shitty. Period.
Oh yeah.
They have not played good football. They're there because of all the titles they've won.
All
and the
the former
conference
players that they shouldn't be in. Basically, Nick was saying they shouldn't be in.
No, Alabama should not be in.
You had their own alumni saying that they shouldn't be in.
Yeah, Mark Ingram and Damian Harris, they said it. Alabama should not be in. Former players, former Heisman winner.
Greg
Said they shouldn't be
McElroy
in.
too. Yeah.
No.
One Manuel shared, I want the Florida running back over Fletcher. If Mario is into upgrading roster, then you go after Jaden Ball. Well, Jaden Ball has to enter the portal first for that to be a possibility. But the Fletcher situation is still very much up in the air if he's going to come back another year or not. So you just got to let things play out. Howard Stern, Gio, you saw that Chaminade Madonna and Jacksonville Bulls lost today at the state championship. Yes. Yeah.
Lost. Interesting.
Ralph shared here, Mondo, are you a personal friend of John Michaels? He mentioned someone with your name in an interview.
Yeah, John Michaels is one of my best friends, actually. He in terms of Hurricane fans, like I consider myself very knowledgeable. This guy, him and probably Steve Kim are the two most knowledgeable in terms of like throwback 80s. Like they'll pop out names and I'll be like, what? Yeah, John Michaels is, not to mention, football aside, great guy, great family guy, but keeping it solely Hurricanes, that guy is like, and we text today, he's like so hyped. You have no idea. Like even the morning of the announcement, he was like all pessimistic, bro. We're not fucking getting in. He's all cursing it. Monica's like, who's texting you at 9 a.m? It's fucking John again. Like he was all flared up. But yeah, he is fandom to them. Like he doesn't live here. He lives in Georgia.
Yeah.
He flies here for games. He is a major, and he gets a lot of grief from he does radio in Atlanta. He gets a lot of grief from them up there about his Miami fandom. Trust me, he defends Miami to the death. And he always goes by Brett's store whenever he's in town, and he's a really great guy. So to answer your question, absolutely, yeah.
First year of the warehouse, he's been people. Yeah, he's amazing, John. Great attitude, great everything. Always brings the high energy. He is always just totally.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Hassan put, Gio, Miami should go all out for Sam Levitt. Also, Lenore Sellers, if he stays. Miami needs those kind of players to keep on winning. I agree, but it's also the concerns of, do you go after a quarterback again that is going to miss all of spring again and then cutting it very close to arriving back on the field in the fall? So that's questions that Miami has to answer for themselves if they want to go on that route. James Kane thinks Miami wins 28-17. He also put Beck's elbow is getting better.
Absolutely. Good call. I get 11 points.
It could be. He's getting healthier. He's looking good. Absolutely.
New King God said, do y'all have any surprise player that steps up for us this postseason? Mine is Tony Johnson and Josh Moore. I put down Elijah Lofton.
Yeah, good call. There you go.
I think, Tony Johnson and Josh Moore, both guys that, where are they in the pecking order? Are they 4 and 5 now? I mean, you've got Malachi, you've got CJ, now will be healthy, and you've got Marion. And then you've got who are the next three? Is it Josh Moore, who had that great game with 2 touchdowns, Tony Johnson, and JoJo Trader? How do they rank 4, 5, and 6?
It's kind of just like a rotation between those guys. It's kind of difficult to rank them, but I throw Dalen Upshaw in that mix too.
Correct.
Rotation.
Is Josh Moore the tallest of the group?
Yes.
So. And they've all got different things that they can do. I think obviously Upshaw is explosive as can be. He seems to be. So it's a good problem to have, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
And then Lofton, who could, possibly running the ball, maybe some plays, maybe a flip from Malachi, and a pass to Lofton. I mean, there are a lot of things, possibilities. So this team is healthy for the first time. Watch this team. I hate to say it, but if Mario doesn't a timeout situation, I hate to say it, or that he freaks out on the timeout or something like that, if we're coached well, I think we can beat anybody.
Yeah, when Miami's at their best, they can absolutely compete or beat almost anyone in the country this year.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Fine Nut put, yo, buddy, any chance when I could pick up my college football playoff polo? Can't wait for it. I hope we can get it before the game.
So Fine Nut, that's a good question. I spoke to Adidas today. They are definitely working on getting everything out. So yes, if you purchase that, hoping they ship tomorrow is my goal. I mean, I haven't seen anything showing they're shipping today. I know we got Blue 84s, all their t-shirts today. We have the Adidas white hat coming, actually, the black polo, and hopefully they ship tomorrow. I'm guessing they're going to ship tomorrow, and we're going to have them Tuesday, is my guess.
Nice.
And if you need them before the game for shipping to you, hit me up on a message that you want them before the game, and I'll make sure I get it to you.
Perfect.
Hit me up.
People.
Okay? I know people that know people.
Hassan puts here, I heard it's Big 12 officials for the game.
Wow,
I'm glad it's not ACC refs.
Good point, Hassan. The ACC refs would only be, we got Miami in, we tried for them, but we're going to screw them again.
Todd Fowler shares, Dolphin Denny says the committee sucks.
Dolphin Denny.
That's classic.
My wife, God bless Dolphin Denny. My wife cheered for the Dolphins back then, and she said she had some good stories about Dolphin Denny. He was a good guy, but she had some funny stories.
Let's see. Tammy said, for Beck, all it takes is one NFL team to fall in love with him. Very true. Very, very true. Look at the quarterback, Tyler Shuff, from Louisville last year. Not many people thought he was a first-round draft pick.
He looks pretty good. The few games that he's played, actually, not bad.
Not many people thought he was a first-rounder, and
nope.
New Orleans fell in love with him, and they took him.
Yeah, you never know how a kid will translate to the pros. He looks pretty good so far.
Look at Mr. Irrelevant from a few years ago.
Find out, put any update on the college football players.
Oh, you talking about
that?
Brock Purdy? You talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Might be more of a product of his team, but I got you.
I still wouldn't mind. I'd be a product of any team if I'm making that kind of money.
Oh yeah.
Howard Stearns shared, how much of a distraction will Texas A&M have by both of their coordinators not coming back next year? Very good point you bring up. And one of them is going to be doing double duty in Colin Klein with his alma mater. So that's a tough one for Texas A&M.
All right.
Both of them are not. It's so crazy, college. So there's got to be a way to put out everything later where guys don't have to jump. Let them finish the season. Let the players have the coaches. There's got to be a better way.
Where are they going, by the way? I have no idea. Where are they going? Do we know? The coordinators.
Gio?
What happened? Brett just deferred. Brett's
where are the coordinators going?
I asked where A&M
coordinators
are going. And Brett's like Million. Million.
I know Klein is to
paging Gio Melion.
I believe Klein is going to Kansas State, which alma mater there, and then I forgot where the DC is going, but this next question though. From Howard, I got a throwback question. If Miami didn't get Brock Berlin, who was a transfer, was Marcus Vick going to be a Hurricane? I cannot answer for you because I was not following recruiting like that closely at that time, like way back then. However, I think the best person to give you that answer would either be Steve Kim or John Michaels. Just, yes. One of those guys would probably know.
I think I think Vic was mentioned. I remember Vic.
Yeah, there was some correlation there, but I can ask John probably and/or Steve tomorrow. Yeah.
Let's see. Chef Will, 38-17, go Canes. Wow, that's a bold prediction.
I like that. I like it, Chef Will.
Let's see. Gilbert Rose.
Next one.
Gilbert Reyes, will Ryan Williams hit the portal at Alabama? He is missing. Yeah, he's at a sophomore slump with Alabama.
Sure did.
Look, it's not an exclusive thing to Miami. You know, there's other programs where guys may have a sophomore slump. So,
you know, when he dropped the touchdown, the announcers said when he dropped that touchdown in the fourth period, right before they scored, and I launched my phone into the ground, Publix. He dropped the ball, and they said this has been common. He's dropped balls like this. That's not a catch he makes. Yep. So it's kind of crazy that they, you know, last year's wonder child to this year.
1 milligram of epinephrine. This is already a pretty great season. We've taken a big step. Whatever happens at Texas A&M shouldn't change that. I agree.
I agree also.
Miami has to show that they belong. That's the minimum.
Speaking of that game, before you continue, Gio, defensively for us, the challenge of Concepcion and Craver, if you could talk on that.
Yeah, I think obviously it would be ideal if Keontae Scott could be a go for that game, but it's still very much up in the air. Likely who draws those matchups at being like Bryce Fitzgerald, very likely. It's definitely going to be the best set of receivers Miami's faced the entire year. Absolutely. Like Pittsburgh had some good wide receivers. I mentioned that. Notre Dame has some wide receivers themselves as well, but there's none that come close. Like the Texas A&M, arguably they are a top 3, like their core trio, like their outside guys in the slot. Their core trio is arguably one of the top 3 in the country this season.
Yeah, because I think Craver was 3rd team All SEC. I read, so it's not just Concepcion. Craver's 3rd team All Conference, so the kid can play as well.
Yeah, Craver is very good. He got off to a really hot start to open up the season, kind of simmered down a bit, and then Concepcion kind of took over, but both very talented. And I always forget the name of the third guy, but he is if I recall, he's a redshirt freshman, super talented, and I think the guy's averaging like over 20 yards a catch. Hold on.
I was hoping there was no third guy.
No, they definitely got a third guy because I've seen some discourse saying, well, it's just 2 of them. We could stop Concepcion and Craver if it's just 2. That they force feed them. Kind of, yes. But the third guy, when I've been watching their games, here we go. I have his name here. He's averaging 23 yards a catch. That is
23?
Yeah, Ashton Bethel Roman. He's a redshirt freshman.
Holy man. So we have to but the question is, if he's doing, they obviously run some longer passes and everything like that. But if they have to do the quick drop to get the ball out quickly, they're not going to be able to go for the long passes.
Yeah.
So hopefully our line.
It's going to be a challenge for Miami. Miami's got to be able to not only generate pressure, but be able to close on some of those and get home and actually get Reed down, or to get him to adjust enough that you could potentially force some turnovers, which Miami's backs need to be ready for. George Blanco said Fletcher should come back. Yeah,
I think so.
I think it would make sense, if there's anything to stand for improving his stock, but we'll see. Hawaiian Kane, Alabama should fork over half their SEC championship game to check to UGA. The Dogs could have put 45 easily on the Tide. I agree. That was not a game. Gilbert Reyes said, I want an effing parade.
There you go.
I like it. I mean, we got 2 champions already this year. Let's add a third in South Florida.
Gilbert Reyes, we didn't think we would blow out Pittsburgh. I believe in Heatherman. Yeah, I believe in Corey Heatherman too. Oh, we got a favorite here. Sam's 47-17. Y'all are going to lose by 2 touchdowns at least. Book it.
Who's Sam rooting for, I wonder?
Either A&M or Notre Dame fan.
Yeah. Or we'll go outside the box. It might be a Florida State fan.
Or Florida State or the Gators. It's like either one, but I agree. It's we know it's someone that doesn't like us.
So new King God shared Klein is going to be the head coach of Kansas State. Yes. And Bateman going to be the DC at Kentucky. Okay.
Okay. Justin
Wow.
Bateman.
Go from Texas A&M to Kentucky. Ugh, weird
Wow.
move.
I mean, yeah, that is great for be a DC from one Texas.
That must mean that Mike Elko doesn't really like him.
No, yeah, that means he was getting the boot anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Odd move.
Go from A&M to Kentucky. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Gilbert Reyes. Nobody can beat us if our defense is playing like we all know they can at an elite level. Yes. It's all on the back end. Our front will get there if they do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good point, Gilbert.
Kentucky. Okay. Chef Will. Guys, they're going to lose on December 20th. Then who cares?
Then, we have another one. Chef Will talking about us losing.
I'm not sure. Juan Manuel said JoJo Trader with 3 weeks of practice could start his redemption season in the playoffs. JoJo could be a wild card if he plays the potential. I agree. He's just got to put it all together. It's not a talent issue. I think it's more mental. Howard put question, Gio. What happened last year with Elijah Melendez? He was just voted freshman of the year in the SEC. Yeah, he entertained other offers while he was committed to Miami, and there's a certain point where just Miami decided to move on. Yeah, that's basically it. George Blanco, it's 3. All right. Canes Jones
already? Oh, go. Sorry.
Canes Jones put there's a difference between the last 23 years bowl game fiascos. We were just playing to play. This year's bowl leads to another game and another game with national championship implications. All players are going to be playing for rings, not just the Pop-Tarts or for the amenities and entertainments. Absolutely on point.
Absolutely on point. We've had a few important bowl games. I thought the Wisconsin bowl game after we had the season that we did get to number 2 in the country, which I thought we were ripped off. That was the one that Rick went crazy. It was the Orange Bowl, actually, and pushed the ref because he was so upset. And, yeah, that was an important one. But there have been some important ones, but nothing has been like this, that we win, we continue. This is actually the first playoffs we ever.
Yeah, it's not a bowl technically. It's a first ever college football playoff game. So
it's
yeah,
even better. That's why I want to make the shirt. If we win all 4, hey, we national championships again, and we still haven't won the ACC.
Yeah,
can you imagine that?
I think at that point, if that hypothetical happened, I don't think any Miami fan would ever care about winning the actual conference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now the conference is, after Duke won it, does anybody really care anymore?
Well, if Ohio State were to unfortunately win it all this year, to be back-to-back years of not even winning their own conference, and winning the national championship.
Mm-hmm. And they did it the last time they won a championship. They didn't win their conference.
Yeah.
1 milligram of epinephrine said, "Who cares about an ACC ship?" I agree.
True.
Juan Manuel, Miami does have a few players with 3 weeks of practice in the new playoffs that can maybe star and give Miami a boost. Elijah Lofton, Dalen Upshaw, Joshua Moore, JoJo Trader. Miami needs one of those to step up. I agree. I think it would definitely be helpful if you can get an extra boost late in the season. Howard put, do you see Miami blitzing in this game? Yes. However, aside from blitzing, I think it's going to be very important who draws the spy responsibilities on Marcel Reed. That's going to be one of the biggest factors in the game. Juan Manuel said Marcus Vick sucked. Yeah. Miami gave him a thrashing in one of his last games he played against the Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm. He was not his brother, that's for sure.
1 milligram of epinephrine. Who cares about ACC? Okay, we saw that. Chef Will. Been a Cane fan since 1978. Saw that tangerine/green come to my high school.
I thought he was a Cane fan, but I just didn't understand that comment. Maybe I read it. You read it wrong, Gio, or I read it. Interpreted.
Juan Manuel, Ryan Williams would look good as a deep threat to complement Malachi Tony. Could Miami go after 2 high-end receivers like a Nick Marsh and Ryan Williams? Well, Ryan Williams first has to enter the transfer portal for anything like that to happen. However, Miami did recruit Ryan Williams at one point. about a couple of years ago, but that's a long time ago. And last question of the night, Howard, will Mendoza be the first Cuban to ever win the Heisman? Or even better, has anybody from Miami-Dade ever won the Heisman? Oh,
That's a good question. I think it's no on both, right? Am I wrong on that? Or?
There has to be a yes.
well, I was about to say Lamar Jackson, but he was Palm Beach. So
That's right.
For some reason, I think a Dade County guy did win, at least one.
That's actually a hell of a question.
you know what?
don't
I'm
think
about to
so.
Google that because I don't even know.
I don't think so. Brett, mark down the time, 11:58. Gio said publicly, I don't.
I know.
That's like, you don't hear that ever. Yeah, I don't. Miami-Dade, I will venture to say no, if you ask me.
No,
But-
no one who's originally.
No, there was one. There was one.
From Miami-Dade?
I remember when this guy won the Heisman, actually, and I didn't realize he played at Miami High School, class of 66. He won in 69. I remember this guy, and he was awesome. He played in the NFL, I think, for Detroit, but I could be wrong. Steve Owens, who played for Oklahoma.
But he won the Heisman in what year?
He won the Heisman in 69 at Oklahoma. And he graduated class of 66 at Miami High. First Heisman winner from Miami-Dade, from Miami-Dade. Other Miami connections.
That means this AI search lied to me.
And I have Google AI search. Which one do you have?
Yeah, the only ones that showed was for University of Miami. I put
Correct. It said, well,
native and.
Yeah, I remember Steve Owens. He played somewhere.
Oh, well, here's the thing. So there's
a loophole?
Yeah, so in high school, he played in Oklahoma and then came to Miami, but then playing his college football at Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said he graduated from Miami High. Now there is a Miami High in Oklahoma too. Just there is a Miami High in Oklahoma, but
he went to. Yeah, he did. He went to Miami High School in Oklahoma.
Oh my God, that's crazy! You had us going there for a second.
But it's funny. It says in the Google AI that he's one from Miami-Dade County.
That is so funny.
So it says that it does say Miami-Dade County in there. Miami High. I'm curious. Miami High. Steve Owens.
That's funny.
Miami High, Steve Owens. He's 78 years old. He went to Miami High School. Former professional football player. He played at the university. Let's see. Miami High School. It's still not saying Miami. Let me click on it. Yeah, it is the Miami High School in Miami, Oklahoma. Okay, so this AI got it wrong.
That's crazy.
So they interpret it. So AI is not as smart. It's not there yet, guys. Thankfully, we're still brighter than it. Wow.
Crazy.
That is too bleeping funny.
Well, let's see. There was a few last ones here.
Didn't Mario win the Heisman?
Jack Harrison put Cam Pruitt fast enough to play nickel. He has played some nickel this year. Manuel, will Miami play press coverage on Texas A&M receivers because A&M receivers' physicality at line of scrimmage may give Aggies receiver problems, but if Miami plays off as a track meet, I agree. They should play press man. Texas A&M receivers, they're talented, yes, but they're not big receivers.
That was the question I had. They're not big.
Yeah, they're not big receivers. Howard put Marcus Vick selling too much ganja. He didn't care about football.
First ganja in the show's history, I think. That's anyone's ganja. My cousin had a cat named Ganja.
1 milligram of epinephrine. Gio, why can't we grow a center? So Brian Rodriguez can play center, but if he's the starter next year, no one really knows yet. Nino Francavilla has developed decently well to this point, who Coach Mirabal brought in, but that he would still have to compete for the spot. And then the thing with SJ Alafaituli, who came in this season as a true freshman, some people around the program, depending on who you talk to, they think potentially he's the center of the future, but again, I know that he was still having trouble snapping the ball before the season even began. So still a lot of question marks there at the center spot. Willie Osborne, Alabama versus Texas Tech, Georgia versus Miami, college football Final Four 2026. Wow.
I'll take it.
Howard Stern said, I don't think so on both. I don't think a Cuban or a guy from Miami has won the Heisman. Yeah.
That would have been a good bet, though.
Fernando Mendoza.
Miami.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza could definitely set some history. Howard Stern said, I just beat an AI robot. I'm the man.
I'm the man.
It is smarter than AI.
Well, it's a good, if we didn't have that Miami thing that we were all looking up, we would have got it here before 12 o'clock, a record. That was fantastic. So it moved along. It was our second show this week, though, which is a record. And we said, Gio, that we are going to do smaller shows if we do multiple shows. So it wasn't bad, 2.5 hours. Thank you for everybody. I agree, Canes Jones. AI sucks. Get some encyclopedia. There's no more encyclopedia. No one looks up anything anymore. Nothing. Jim Plunkett, the first Latino to win the Heisman. I thought Jim Plunkett was Indian. I thought he was American Indian or Samoan or something. But it could be wrong. But yeah, AI, unfortunately, it's the demise of a lot of things because people don't look. It's like people don't want to look at it and say, hey, Grok, is this true? I mean, you can't look it up. Hey, Grok. Anyway, Mondo, thank you for joining us today. Tell people where they can find the great one.
On X or here with you guys every weekend. Did want to mention, obviously, this Saturday is not a full Saturday, but remember, this Saturday we got, I believe it's the Army-Navy game, right? So that's always obviously not as talented football-wise as we're going to see next weekend, but it's always a great event to watch. So definitely check that out this Saturday. And we count down to next Saturday, play our first ever college football playoff game. So very exciting. Can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And thanks for everybody with the comments and the questions and every tonight and every week. So very much appreciated.
Absolutely. Mondo, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, catch Mondo. Pretty soon we may have Mondo Mayhem and Hard Rock Gambling combined. Mondo, did you win that bet today?
No, I just saw the Falcons came back and beat the Bucks 29-28. That's crazy. The Bucks are like sliding big time.
They are for sure. Gio, where can people find you?
Everyone could always find me here on the CanesWear podcast, or you could also find me on X at Gio Milian. Previously you could find me fighting day in and day out with Notre Dame fans, but I got more than that. So I guess my next endeavor is if Miami takes down A&M, I'll fight any A&M fans who try to say that they're better than Miami.
Absolutely. I don't know if we have any A&M fans in here. So,
by the way, so I looked this up and verified this because someone, Juan Manuel mentioned who was it that mentioned
Jim Plunkett?
Yeah,
Jim Plunkett.
Juan Manuel mentioned Jim Plunkett, and then Howard said, "What Latino is named Jim Plunkett?" So I actually looked it up. Jim Plunkett has Mexican heritage.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So Jim Plunkett was great. He was at Stanford, but I remember when he played in New England, the Dolphins would beat him up all the time. Amazing. His wide receivers guys were Randy Vataha and Reggie. I forgot the other guy's name, but I remember Reggie. I don't know, but he had two receivers, Randy Vataha and Reggie something. The Dolphins. He was like a guy that did not do too. He did good. He had that strange throwing motion, and then he went to the Raiders and he won 2 Super Bowls. I mean, he was the total comeback player. He was perfect for that Raider team. So, but yes, I remember Jim Plunkett very well before the Tom Brady days. Gio, did you finish telling everybody everything about you?
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, again, Canes Jones, thank you, CanesWear.com. Yes, remember, we do have your CFP merchandise. We will be getting more as well. We do have a long sleeve shirt coming in tomorrow. We have a kid shirt. We have 3 or 4 different short sleeve shirts. We have the new pin coming in. We have actually a new coin. It's really cool. It's from the Highland Mint. It's got the CFP logo on it, but it's also got all the teams that are in it, and it shows 2026 championships going to be in Miami. Nice piece, $39.98. Just getting them in tomorrow or on Monday, but you can order them now. I got a pin in, getting car flags in, getting 3x5 flags in, getting a lot of things. So hopefully the Canes keep on winning to keep this train going. Remember, we're sponsored by CanesWear, the spot, Miami Fan Shop. I know a lot of good guys that work there. And, a lot of cool cold weather gear, other great stuff. Still got this new Inter Miami Championship shirt that's unbelievable. We've got your Panther gear, who are the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Remember, Miami is the city of champions. That's what we want to be printing soon. The city of champions, baby. Remember to join the FTSN network. Bobby and the team do an amazing job. FTSN, like and subscribe. Dolphins Monday night at Pittsburgh should be an interesting game at 19 degrees, I think is the high. And what else do I got on my mind here? Oh, yeah, our new app, the CanesWear app. Please download it. We're setting up quizzes and other things that we're working on now. We're going to have contests on there. So make sure you're there so you'll be able to get a lot of chime in on a lot of that stuff for big prizes and things like that. So going to do a contest somewhere on this game with at least $100 gift card for close to the score. If we don't do it on our new mobile app, we'll be doing it on X. So stay tuned for that. That's about all I got. Did I forget anything, Gio?
That's about it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for the greatest team of commenters and part of you guys are family and part of our podcast. We appreciate it. Howard Stern Mendoza is a full-blooded Latino. It doesn't get more Latino than Mendoza from Columbus High. And both on Marcus Lemonis, the Prophet, and also on several other shows. He's a Miami guy, but he went to Columbus, and he was pushing hard for Fernando. But why not? You might as well have a local guy win. And we win the championship the same year. Everything will be perfect. That's about it for us, guys. Thank you so much again. We appreciate you. We'll have a time and place for a new one soon. We may do a watch party as well. I'll let you guys know about that shortly. So that's about it. Thank you very much, guys. It's all about the U.
Go Canes.
Go Canes.